Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Honey Flow Talk Show here on Twitch. Welcome, YouTube and Facebook as well. It's so good to see all you guys. I'm excited for my next guest. We did a little snippet on Instagram, which was the first time me trying. So I think I'm going to actually start that on all my shows. Do maybe 10 minutes or 20 minutes on Instagram, just so people could start getting really familiar with Twitch, and then we're going to start moving people over to Twitch. So yeah, make sure you guys leave comments in the chat room. The next guest that I just had on Instagram and now on Twitch, we're going to talk about, he's really growing really huge. He's been DJing since 1992. He does a lot of great things, not just DJing, but he also does, a radio station. He does podcasts. He's a firefighter. He's an author. There's not so much this guy I don't think can't do. I've checked out a lot of his different events online. He's done galas, fundraisers, and recently, I think the biggest one that I saw that really caught my eye was opening up for Monica, Tevin Campbell. It was, I believe Drew Hill was there, Tamar Braxton, and those are some of my favorite artists. Of course, Monica, I absolutely love. And the famous Keith Sweat, that guy could sing drinking wine or not drinking wine. I don't know. He seems to be able to keep a note even though he drinks a lot of wine, which always amazes me. So let's bring in DJ Vadermixx, and we'll talk a little bit more about everything he's done. There's so much more, but I want to bring him in as well. Hey, we're back again. How you doing?
I'm good. I'm good. How are you?
Good, good. So thanks for trying this first time, on Instagram. I kind of like it. It's kind of different. So
Yeah.
something
Yeah, that
different.
worked out pretty well.
Yeah, exactly. So we got Junior in the building. And again, if you guys have questions, make sure you guys leave it in the chat as well. It's not just me asking questions, but if there's anything you want to learn about Vadermixx, then let's do that. We got Just Jen in the building as well.
What up,
Um,
Jen?
she says, "That's my DJ." Does she mod for you?
She is my only mod.
Oh, you only have one mod?
Technically, yes. Only one
Wow.
mod.
That's amazing. She must props to you, Just Jen. That's a lot. It's a lot of work. And props to all the mods. That's a lot to handle because your room's always busy. So big props
Hmm
to you, Just Jen. Maybe you could give us pointers as well as a mod, like how you do everything. That's a lot. It's a lot of work.
It, it is.
Um,
She is a beast.
and Junior is a mod of mine as well. I'm always trying to set him up with the ladies in my room, so he's a power mod as well.
What
We
up?
got Ellie Myro. How are you doing in the building? Hopefully, I said her name right. How's it going? Just Jen says I'm a human octopus. Yeah, it kind of sounds. I don't know how you hand. I could barely handle 20 people. Never mind like hundreds of people in my room. But yeah, we were just talking, guys, a little bit about his background and him growing up in Cincinnati, Ohio,
Mhm.
and some DJ, just some DJ things as well there. I was curious too, growing up in Cincinnati, like, is it highly competitive for DJs, or if you want to get on radio or in that type of field out there?
Yes, everything is highly competitive. It just depends on what lane you're going in. Um, Getting on a radio station is hard. It's really hard. And once you're on there, um, you have to perform well, or at least make sure that you're dotting your crossing your T's and dotting your I's. But when it comes to outside gigs, yes, it's highly competitive. So
Do
unless you
all
throw your own gigs, and then it's not competitive.
For sure. Do all the DJs kind of know each other out there? Like, because I would think it's more of a smaller city, right? So I would,
It is, but we
yeah.
have like a million DJs here, and for the most part, um, I would say for the most part, everyone's familiar with each other. Um, there's a group of DJs that was coming up um, that all know each other. My crew, my DJ crew, we all, I mean, we're all friends, so of course we know each other.
Mhm.
Some of the younger DJs, some of the newer DJs, not so much, not really know them. Maybe I've heard of them, but um, there's a new what they say. There's a new DJ born every 10 minutes. So I don't know. Like
That's
I don't
true.
know them all. Hmm.
Yeah. Did you know Diamond Lee? I don't know how far he is from you or D-Man before?
Yeah, they're both my friends. D Man is at the very top of Ohio, in Cleveland, and I think Diamond Lee is somewhere close towards the top of Ohio as well. So from the bottom, from our tiny island to the top, is about 4 hours or so. So
Oh, okay, nice. How far are you from Cleveland? I gotta check a map actually.
it it's about 3.5 hours.
Oh,
So
oh, okay. So it's still a little bit further. Okay, I thought
hmm
it was a bit closer. All right. So just Jen says, "Don't let him be so humble," and that's something we're going to talk about too. He's the GOAT. Was just voted Cincinnati DJ of the Year for the second year and Best Hip Hop DJ. I noticed that as well. So how is that award? Like, how did you feel after winning that award there as well?
um, humbling, definitely humbling. And it was from actual DJs, so it actually feels better than winning, a random "you're a pretty cool DJ" award. But it has some stock in my eyes that is pretty dope. It's surprising, but pretty dope.
Yeah, that's amazing. And also, I know with you were nominated Viewers Choice Award as well with Amani's experiences Twitch Awards too, right?
Well, I was nominated, but
Yeah,
I didn't win. But even to be nominated for a People's Choice Award is pretty awesome. So,
exactly. Yeah. And
mhm,
a lot of times, honestly, it's not about winning or awards or, there's so many great DJs that maybe never, or people in general that never get an award, right? But they're doing
mhm,
so many amazing things in the community. So
mhm.
thought that was dope. Yeah, just even being nominated is huge. Because did you know that 30,000 people voted?
No, I did not know
Yeah,
30,000 people voted.
it's a lot. So I heard that, I think Amani mentioned it, that 30,000 people voted just to get the nominees, right?
Oh, wow. Oh,
That's
wow.
huge. Yeah,
That is huge.
it's very, very
And
huge.
look
So,
at us. Wow.
but
Okay.
big up, yeah, big up to DJ Mo One. I think he won
Mhm.
that viewer's
Yeah.
choice. Well deserved. It's a tough
Mhm.
category. I would not like to go up against any of you guys because you guys are
That was
all
a that was a
brilliant.
really tough category. Yes. That was
Yeah,
I think it was charisma in there,
yeah,
myself. Um, it was some heavy hitters in there. So
yeah,
shout out to Mo One.
exactly. Shout out to everyone as well. So, you also have like a radio background. So, for all you guys that don't know, I got to check out the radio station today too, actually, because that's my first love is radio. So, I'm always
Okay.
curious. You know, a lot of DJs they either DJ or they MC. They don't really have tons of radio background or versatile that way. So, I found that interesting with you. Uh,
Mhm.
but the station is WOSL 100.3 FM, you guys. Drive at 9, and
Mm.
also the Saturday night boombox side B. And it mentioned that you're a radio personality for Urban One Radio too.
Yes. Yes. So um well, Radio One switched to Urban One. They
Okay.
changed their names for marketing purposes, which is under the same umbrella as TV One and all that stuff. But yes, the Saturday Night Boombox B side. It is the longest running mix show I think in the country. It is a
Oh,
5 hour mix show every Saturday night.
nice. Every Saturday.
So
Wow.
mhm,
So when you're doing it Saturdays, do you stream at all on Saturdays or
I
no?
do.
Break. Oh,
I
you do.
stream Saturday mornings.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
Pine Sol Saturday morning. um,
Wow.
and then the mix show at night. And if I have something going on, then the mix show is more likely pre-recorded. But
So
that's
how did you
still,
get involved, like, with radio then too?
huh? Let's see. Um, They came to me
Mhm.
um, at a time when they were making a transition from the young, how do y'all call it? The young urban station to a all like R&B old school type of vibe. The person that was the program director at the time, Chris Coleman, legendary DJ out of Alabama, he was here and he said that he needed help and he wanted me to help and be on the station as a mixer. And I fought against it because I didn't want to be pigeonholed. Um, Being a radio mix show DJ is really different. It's not necessarily like you don't have that freedom to create. Your creation is in this box and these songs, and so I didn't want to get caught up in that. And because I'm still young and vibrant and out here and doing the biggest clubs and biggest events, and I didn't want to get pigeonholed. And but something told me to do it, so I did it, and I've been there. I think going on 8 years now.
Wow,
Yeah,
that's amazing, and that's a long
yeah,
run for a radio station because there's so much
it is.
turnover, like, with radio hosts and just stations altogether, especially here in
Yes.
Canada, urban stations.
Hmm.
Hey, Bald, we got, let's see, Bald saved Tatted Girl. I wanna see her
Hey,
tattoo
SJ.
then with that name for sure. We got, Charmaine the Villain. She sounds like she's a tattoo artist or something. How you doing, Charmaine the Villain? Great to see you. We got Lady Day that came in the building.
Hmm.
Smooth Hawk, great to see you as well. He's a gamer and sings while he games as well. So it was fun. It was a lot of fun catching your show, Smooth Ops. Put a
Hmm.
smile on my face because I was like, yeah, this guy sounds like he's from Toronto. Sounds like a lot of guys here. So it made me laugh. So thanks for coming through, DJ Jonah. Good to see you.
What's
Uh,
up? What's up?
yeah, he's the one that designed this kind of cool overlay to help
No,
me.
pretty
This
cool.
is his creation. So if you guys need overlays, emotes, or anything to make your show better, he's the guy to go to. So make sure you guys add him. See, I should just be a marketer. I'm marketing everyone today.
I see. I see.
So yeah, so that's interesting with the radio station. Do you talk a lot too on the mic, or are you kind of more like, do you do interviews and stuff, or is it just more mix shows where you're playing music?
So, um, I made the transition when I came to radio or OSL. Um, I was primarily just the mix show. Saturday night house party is what it was called. And then um, they wanted to try me as a personality. And so I did that. So I had my own daily show. It was from 3 to 7. Um, and so at one point I was doing all of the mixes for the station. I was doing a
Oh,
Saturday night show, I was doing a lunchtime mix show, and I was doing a drive at 5. All right.
wow.
And so I had my own show. Even on Saturday nights, I talk on the mic, but at the end, I do talk breaks. I don't. My mix shows are not one that I really talk during the mix show because I don't like my voice, and I don't want to like. I don't know. It's kind of weird. It's weird hearing your own voice, but
Mhm.
um, I don't talk much during the actual mixing of the show, but I definitely talk at the end and give shout outs and you know uh, sponsor breaks, blah blah blah. So
Okay. Yeah, so Ellie says Drive at 5 was fire. That's amazing because the very thing that we don't seem to like about ourselves is the very thing that people love, you know?
hmm.
Like
Hmm.
when you mentioned, "Oh, I didn't really like my voice." It's interesting because, like, when I heard you on the mic, I'm like, "Oh, he's got a great MC or a great mic voice," like, storytelling and what you did on your show, right? So it's kinda
Uh-huh.
how we think that, right?
I
But
did not start out as a talking DJ.
Mhm.
I would always have somebody with me to talk on a mic. Um, and I guess just over years, just got more comfortable with it, and definitely the radio. I learned a lot of stuff um, from past people that used to work at the station and people that moved on to other jobs on how to talk on the radio and how to keep people engaged. So I just kind of bring it all together. So
Yeah, Smooth Ops thinks you have a great voice too.
appreciate that. Thank you.
Yeah, and Just Jen says you have like 50 jobs. Sleeping is not one of them. I can see that. Like you seem like a jack of all trades, because you also do a podcast show. For all you guys that don't know, it's WTFU radio dot podomatic.com. And
Hmm.
you also held the number one spot, top 10 in the hip hop category for over 4 years. So that's
Hmm.
pretty cool too. Like how are you able to balance everything out? Because that's a lot of work. Like people
It
don't.
is. It is. So the WTFU, me and my partner, Replay Ran, had created that. Maybe I don't even think there was podcasts out at that point. I think we came out with WTFU back in '07, '08, somewhere around there, and it was truly just an interview show. And at the end, I would do a mix. And as we got busier in our careers, um, I would just put out mixes. And so for I think 1 year, I put out a mix every day. And all this stuff is still archived in Podomatic. And over the past few years, I mean, been so busy, I haven't really paid that much attention to it, but it's still there. So, but with doing radio and then my job and then my other job and then, you know, family man, I just don't have time. But
Yeah,
we'll see.
that is a lot. So going to that as well. Yeah, the podcast show, the radio station, the DJing, plus your Twitch shows. I don't know
Hmm.
how you keep up. And then is firefighting, for all you guys that don't know, he's a firefighter. Is that like a full-time job or part-time?
No,
Okay.
that's a career. That's a
Yeah.
career. I've been
Wow.
a Cincinnati firefighter for 23 years. Um, God willing, I will make it to retirement. And that is, I came in July of 1999.
Wow.
Um, yeah.
Do you guys have a lot of downtime, like, for you to be able to do other things as well? Like, my friend's husband was a firefighter, and I guess
Hmm.
you have to sleep at the station, like, a few days on and off. Does that work like that out there?
So in Cincinnati, we are 24 hours on and 48 hours off.
Oh.
So depending on what side of the city you are stationed at, you don't have time to even blink. You're
Oh,
busy.
yeah?
Uh-huh. And some very few stations you have a lot of downtime. So,
Hmm.
and with the increase of residents in the city, with the um, pandemic and everything that comes along with that, we were busy before, and that makes us even more busy. So, um, it is pretty hectic.
And is there a certain I'm not even too familiar with firefighting
Hmm.
whatsoever. Is it like a certain does everyone get trained on the same thing as a firefighter, or do you guys have different kind of like positions or what you I guess
So,
duties you?
no,
I'm trying to think of
well,
it.
well, the testing process is a really long process. It's about a
Mhm.
year, maybe a little bit over a year, the whole testing process. It's very hard to get on the fire department, at least Cincinnati. And you have about anywhere between 16 to 24 weeks of paid training because you can't just give you a garden hose and say, hey, put out that fire. Can't
Yeah.
do that. So um, I believe it equates to like 10 weeks of fire training, um, 8 weeks of EMT training, 2 weeks of fire inspector, 2 weeks of weapons of mass destruction and hazmat training, and the list goes on.
Oh, wow.
Um, yeah, yeah, we can't send people out there and not have them trained right. Um, and once you get to the firehouses, once you make it off probation or whatever, you're assigned to a firehouse. Everyone has different roles, you know. Um, but everybody's role is specific to completing the big task. Like if there's a fire, of course you got a driver, you got an officer, you got a person that's at the hydrant turning on the water, and you got a person helping the officer find the fire with the hose. You know, if you're on the
Mhm.
truck, two people go to the roof, the other people go inside and help search for people. So everybody has a specific role.
Okay. What was the biggest thing would you say during the pandemic that you've noticed, like just on your job, that you see, that you guys were getting calls for?
Um, Obviously, people were calling because they were worried about having COVID or even having COVID. The biggest thing was keeping ourselves protected. A lot
Mhm.
of firefighters, including myself, got COVID, and a lot of them, um, it was a hard recovery from that. So it was personal protection
Hmm.
was the biggest issue during the pandemic because, I mean, it's not like dealing with airborne diseases. You know, we have the Tyvek suits and things like that, but at 3 in the morning when somebody's calling, are you putting all that stuff on? Maybe, maybe not, but definitely the mask. So it was a lot we all had to really emphasize with ourselves with personal protection equipment.
Yeah, for sure.
Hmm.
Is there's his soul, I don't know that question. He's like, do you guys still slide down a pole?
So stirs. Here's the thing with the polls. So across the nation, yes, yes, and actually Cincinnati is the first professionally paid fire department in the nation. It was
Oh,
founded in
yeah.
April 1st, April 1st, 1853. So the first full-time professionally paid department. And yes, we have fire poles in a lot of the firehouses, but across the nation, what has happened is people are getting hurt sliding down the poles. So imagine being sleep, snoring, the deepest sleep you can ever imagine. And the bell rings. That bell rings. No matter what you're doing, you got 30 seconds to get to that truck. All right. You slide down that pole, 3 in the morning. You think you close to the end, you let go. People broken their legs, their
Oh,
ankles.
really?
Yeah, people have. It's yeah, it's been pretty bad. So across the nation, they've taken out a lot of the poles. It may keep something there for nostalgia, but
Mhm.
it's not really utilized the way it used to be.
I kind of wonder with the bigger guys, because like, we used to drive by the fire station and
Hmm.
when we were younger and joke, like we'd see like these big, big guys sitting in lawn chairs and we'd be like, excuse me, are you Mr. September? Like I was a little mischievous back then, roll down my window. They're like, are you Mr. September? And I'd say it to the big, big guy. And he was
Uh-huh.
not pleased. He'd give me like a dirty look. And then all the good looking firefighters that were all built and everything, they would all be laughing like hysterically. But I'd always
Uh-huh.
see them like just sitting, playing cards. That's what we did in
Hmm.
a small city growing up. There wasn't a lot of fun to do, so we created our own fun.
Hmm.
But I kind of wonder with those bigger guys, it's kind of like, I don't know, like football, like having the running backs and having the linebackers on your team. Like, there's some big guys that work at the fire station too. How in the
There
world,
are.
get down those poles either? Like, I don't.
Well, I mean,
I thought you had to be in shape to be a firefighter. No.
you have to be in firefighting shape.
Uh-huh.
Does that fit a specific body type? No.
Oh, okay.
Long as you can
Interesting.
perform your job, long as you can complete the task at hand, um, is really how. Well, we're supposed to have a physical every year. We're
Oh,
mandated
okay.
to.
I guess
Um,
it's like police officers too, I guess.
I
Yeah.
I don't know. You know, police and fire don't really get along
Oh,
historically.
okay. And then we
Yeah.
won't we won't we won't talk about that.
There are brothers and sisters, but
Are
it's
they?
like we yeah,
I
we
didn't
kind of
know that
clash a lot.
actually. Yeah, Twomp
Yeah.
says, so, truck, squad, or engine, is that a real thing?
Yes, yes. It depends on the city. So sometimes the truck and the squad are the same thing. Some
Mhm.
cities, the squad is the medic squad. Um, Sometimes its squad is a heavy rescue squad. So there's a truck that you see a long ladder. Um, there's a heavy rescue squad that has all the heavy equipment, Jaws of Life, a whole bunch of other stuff that is for the specialized squad of firefighters. And the engine obviously carries the water and hooks into the hydrant. So yes, that is a real thing.
Okay. And then I know some others in the chat room. Just Jen says you're also a chef, which we're going to definitely talk about. And yeah, you're definitely like a jack of all trades. And Ellie says you're a graphic designer too. It's like, you know, it's interesting that you do all these different things. So you are a firefighter. The next thing is that I notice about you is that you're a family guy, which
Hmm.
I think is awesome. I think I saw some pictures with you and your wife there too, and
Hmm.
some videos. So I respect that. Do you have a few kids as well? I think you did, right? You do.
Yes, a daughter and a son.
Yes. Okay. And how old are they?
18 and 14.
Wow. So how do you balance all that out too? Like DJing, cooking, being a family guy, like doing all these shows and these events, radio station. Like how do you balance everything?
I don't know. It just kind of works out. Well, definitely with help. So
Mhm.
it's balanced with help. Shout out to the missus in Twitch world. We call her production. Um, and she definitely um, has very much understanding about my crazy life, just like I have understanding about hers. It just kind of works out, you know. Make sure that the gigs that we have or the things that we're doing is not too much. It seems like a lot. It's not to me. It's not a lot. I think it's because I'm used to being on the go all the time. But
Yeah, for
to me, it
sure.
doesn't seem like a lot. I guess when you're telling me, I'm like, oh, holy crap, that is a lot.
You do a
Going through,
lot.
going through the motions is not a lot to me because I've been doing
Yeah.
it for so long. So,
And is she on your shows a lot, or you guys keep
hmm
it kind of separate, or is she
no,
mod or do?
she pops in. She's like a unofficial uh, producer of the show. When the pandemic started and we were streaming on Instagram and Facebook, she actually was in there more because I needed somebody to tell me, I didn't have the sophisticated now that I had then. It was like, hey, how's the camera look? Are we still streaming? Because
Mhm.
IG would kick you off and you didn't even know. Like
Oh, yeah. You would keep
the-
going on
yeah,
for,
you
like,
keep
hours.
going. Yeah.
Yeah,
And then you like, oh man, it stopped like 2 hours ago. Like,
yeah.
um, so that's where the production part came from. And then when we made the switch over to Twitch, it started out that way, but she pops in
Okay.
here and there.
So
But
you
she's
guys
been
got
busy.
married, I think I saw a picture, was it, like, 5 years ago? Or
Yes,
yeah?
5
Okay.
years ago. Hmm.
Oh, amazing. That's awesome. Can I ask how you guys met? Normally, I don't ask people this, but now I'm so curious. Like, did
She was
you meet DJing when you were out doing an event?
I think we passed each other or she came to a few events, but we
Mhm.
didn't know each other. Um um the way that we met is that she was in my DMs.
Oh, ladies, that's how you
Yeah.
do it. Okay, I'm
Yeah.
taking notes, taking notes. So she literally just went in your DMs on Instagram?
No, it was Facebook. So,
Oh, wow.
and I was like, "Who is this? Who sent you?" And so I had to vet her first, and found out she was legit. So yeah,
Okay, and she seems like a smart woman. I think she's a judge. Is she a judge or something?
she she ran for the position of Hamilton County Juvenile Court Judge. Unfortunately, she was down 179 points or votes points, and it sparks an automatic recall. So we'll see what that outcome is. But she
Yeah,
is
they've
very smart. She is a civil rights lawyer and a child advocate. So.
wow, I love that. That's so amazing. That
Mhm.
truly is. Yeah. Let's see here. Stirs to Soul asks, do you guys do a lot of public service, Christmas Santa runs, teach pole safety? You really curious about this pole stuff. Well, I'm glad you're not asking a lady that pole safety at the local burlesque. What burlesque salon? What the heck is wrong with you, Stirs? Give out turkeys for holidays. Well, he
So,
wants to know.
yes, we do a lot of public service. As a fire department, yes, but more importantly, as like the Cincinnati African American Firefighter Association, we have toy drives, book bag drives, back to school drives, turkey drives, like you name it, we have a drive for it. So we're really big about being in a community and giving back because these are the people that we are making runs on, that they're seeing us, and we want to make sure that they have positive role models to give back to the community.
Yeah, for sure. I agree. So he says,
Hmm.
I guess no local burlesque
Yeah,
salon.
yeah, no local burlesque. That might be some other training, but we don't do
What about a firefighter calendar? Have you guys ever done anything like that at your station? Fire
that.
Or is that
So
just kind of a rumor, or does that actually happen at the
no,
fire? That I
it happens. It happens. There is somewhere in the archives of history, there are firefighter calendars that that Cincinnati firefighters had put together, were in, and then I think it had so much backlash that
oh,
people just
oh,
slowly stopped doing it.
really?
Yeah, yeah,
It would be fun, like, if you guys were holding a dog or a cat or something, like, I think that would be hilarious, you know? Like,
yeah.
if you
It
have
wasn't that
a pet
type of
in
calendar.
yeah,
It
I
wasn't.
know.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. You mean
It
never mind
was,
then.
yeah, suspenders and no shirt type calendars. So, um,
You can do
so
that
yeah,
holding a cat in your hand, I think, maybe.
you probably could, probably
Yeah.
could.
So a lot of people didn't like it. There was backlash. There was backlash with that. That's interesting. Hmm.
Well, no, backlash. There was. It was very successful, but for those people that were in the calendar who had families or had
Oh,
significant others,
no, I
it was
agree.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Well, they
yeah.
should talk about it with their significant others, right? Not just do it too. That'll get you in trouble. That'll get you in
Yeah,
aisle 4, not aisle 2, so you gotta be
yeah,
careful. So
yeah,
you also are an author. You did Dishes to Save Your Night. So if
y-
you guys want to, check that out, make sure you Google that. If someone could actually, because I don't know if my StreamYards is working, if you can post his link, Junior, or someone in the chat room, that would be awesome. And we'll post his link so you guys could all add him on Twitch as well for maybe one person that doesn't know Vadermixx, which I'm sure everyone does and everyone catching the replay. But for those on Facebook and YouTube now, I'm going to make sure you guys post and I'll throw up his link too, and even to his book too. So it's called
mhm,
called Recipes Dishes to Save Your Night?
mhm.
Yeah, that's it.
Recipes.
Oh,
So,
yeah. The name was different. Yeah.
so let's see. In the fire department, in the fire service, um, we take food seriously because
Hmm.
not to be morbid, but each meal could be your last meal. So
Hmm.
we want to make sure that we eat well, right? And um, in the history of the fire service, the people that can cook are usually the permanent chefs. The people that can't cook for a reason, and they never touch the stuff in the kitchen. So I messed around and made a good meal, my first meal on the fire department, and I became in the chef rotation. And once I went to my that was my probationary firehouse. When I went to my permanent firehouse, my first permanent firehouse, um, my roomer had preceded me, and I became the permanent chef. So cook all these meals, and really they didn't know I was really experimenting on them. And it became one of those things where it's like, hey, why don't you do a cookbook? I was like, that takes too much work. And my mom, because I had been in the S was it Essence? Yeah, Essence magazine for cooking. So they did an article on firefighters and chefs, and across the country, and I was one of the firefighters that they selected. And from there, it just kind of blew up. The cooking shows and things of that nature. Um, and when my mom passed away from cancer, um, one of the last things that I had told her that was that I would one day put out a cooking book because she loved my cooking. So in December, actually, 2 days is the anniversary.
Oh,
Uh, December the 3rd, I think 2013, maybe it was 10. I don't remember, but it's definitely December 3rd. I think it's 2010,
mhm.
um, is when the book came out.
Wow, that's amazing. Yeah, wow. Yeah, so make sure you guys add Vadermixx on Twitch, and here's his website here down below as well. Actually, there's one thing. Here we go. I forgot to do. So if you guys check the scrolling, you guys could see it scrolling as well. His site here for Twitch. So make sure you guys are adding him as well. So is because I know you also did a gala for cancer. It's called White Cancer Survivor Gala. What does that mean to you then? If because you have such a personal story with your mom as well, um,
hmm
with cancer.
Actually, yeah, both of my parents passed away from cancer.
Oh
So
wow, to hear
the
that.
event is called the Black and White Cancer Survivors Gala,
Hmm.
and it's been going on for years. Shout out to Dr. Melvin and Bill Marbury who puts this together. And it is a true gala. It is at our convention center. There's hundreds, if not thousands, of people that's there, and they celebrate those people that have survived or who's
Hmm.
currently fighting, and it's for them to have a great time. So, um, one of the things at the end of the programming, they walk they whole Soul Train line, um, and they walk. The cancer survivors walk out into the middle dance floor. There's a big balloon drop, and it's a chance for people to enjoy life. So it's a celebration of life and the fight. So,
Yeah, for sure. Wow,
mhm.
I think that's incredible, and I feel don't you feel like music becomes more richer when you're doing things like that? Like when you're giving
It
back
is,
and,
it is.
you're part of something that makes a difference?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And they have a ball. We party all night.
Wow. That's
Mhm.
really awesome. Can I ask
Mhm.
what cancers they were as well? That
Um,
they passed away from? It's always good to get checked out, you guys, for real, like even with the breast
it is.
cancer found
Um,
we did too, to always get
mhm.
checked, you know?
Mhm. Mhm. Um, my father, well, my mother, I'll start with my mom. She had a rare form of cancer, um, which became a multi-system cancer. The actual name of it, I probably buried it in the back of my head, but it begins with an M and it's like 16 letters or something. It's
Hmm.
really crazy. So she passed in '08. My father passed in 2016 from prostate cancer.
Oh,
So
wow.
my father was a firefighter. Firefighters are prone to cancers because of the things that we are exposed to. The fires that we fight come back and haunt us later on in life. Car fires, house fires, things that we're exposed to. So um, it was prostate cancer. So
Wow. Well, thanks for sharing that. I appreciate that. And,
no problem.
you definitely have a different outlook on life. I've lost many friends
Hmm.
with cancer and various things too. And
Hmm.
telling you, like, definitely wakes you up and you have a different perspective on what life is about, and what you want your life to
Absolutely.
be too, and your legacy and your purpose.
Hmm.
Yeah. So, hey, Shay Tay, I see you. Thank you for coming through. I appreciate you. Uh,
Hey,
we got Big Stove as well in the building too.
now
Um,
Big Stove is from Cleveland.
yeah, he does an amazing show too. He cooks up some serious tracks on his
He
show too.
does.
I've
He's the
noticed.
man.
Interesting. Is he right in
Hmm.
your city? Are you guys close to each other or in your
No,
city?
no, actually, but we met each other this past summer. He came down to the Cincinnati Music Festival,
Hmm.
and they during that weekend, it's like I can have anywhere between 5 and 10 events that between those span of 3 days. And he came to a few of them. We had a ball, we party, had a good time. And then that next week, we all met up at the OMU. So
Okay. I gotta come out there and meet you guys sometime too, you
you
know?
got to, the
Yeah,
OMU 23 is
I gotta
coming up.
I know, I gotta definitely come out there sometime. We got DJ Tantrum doing big things on Twitch. How you doing? Good to see you.
What's up? What's up?
Another a guy with radio background too, DJing and other things. Good
Hmm.
to see you as well. So yeah, so recently I saw you. That looked like such an amazing concert. I wish I was there so bad. If I knew, I probably would have just bought a ticket and taken off. But that
Uh-huh.
R&B experience, that looks so dope. So for all you guys
Hmm.
that don't know, add him, DJ Vadermixx on Instagram, and you'll see the R&B experience, which is with Drew Hill, Monica, Key Sweat, Tamar Braxton. What a crazy lineup. Tevin
Hmm.
Campbell. Oh man,
Hmm.
I'd be in such heaven if I saw all those artists like together. Um,
Hmm.
so how was that? What was that like for you too? Just getting out of the pandemic and of
Oh,
course you've been doing lots
let's
of
see.
events, but
Yeah, I was doing those type of events before,
yeah.
but there was a lot of stuff that happened during the pandemic too.
Hmm.
So here in the city, shout out to Jay Raj who brought this drive-in concert series. So the first one, if I'm correct, I think it was BBD, and had a had a it was literally like a stage on wheels,
Hmm.
and it was almost set up like a drive-in movie theater, but with a stage. And it was fantastic. I went live from Twitch. That was like early in the early days of Twitch. I think I talked about that on Ponzo, but um, through the pandemic, we had little concerts, as much contact as we have in that span of time, which was not that much. And oh, so Elle was there. She said it was dope. It was
Hmm.
BBD. Yes.
Nice.
And so I'm honored to do concerts and things like that. That was never ever in my scope as when I started out DJing. You know, you always thought that you would like to, but to actually get the opportunity to hear, you know, 50, 60, 70,000 people just sing to the songs that you playing is pretty cool. And shout out to my right hand man, Lando, because really it's the being on this Keep Sweat tour is really he's on there as a host, but he wants to work with his DJ, who is me. And so it's like two hosts is DJ A1 and DJ Land. I mean, not DJ Lando. And I'm pretty much a DJ. They're going back and forth, old school song versus a new school song, but I'm the DJ that's playing it. And so it's pretty cool. Like it's hard to describe, but it's um really, really a great experience. And all the artists are great. Um, and they are really cool to meet in person. Um, but you can't be like a fan person. Like you just,
Yeah, like
uh,
a fangirl.
yeah, yeah. You just walk past like you've been there before and say,
That's
"Hey, how
what
you
they tell
doing?"
you on radio. You can't be a fangirl and ask for pictures and everything
Yeah,
else.
yeah.
I mentioned
Uh,
Sia and a few others passed through the radio station, and they're like,
mhm,
you can't be a fangirl. So I'm like, okay, well, if it was a '90s artist, for sure, I would definitely
mhm,
be like peeking out the window, like, oh, I just want to get one picture, but
mhm.
whatever. That's interesting. So when you work with these guys, is it like your own event, like that you're working with promoters, or do they book you as a DJ, or do you guys
No,
work
they book us.
together?
Yes.
Oh, they book you
No, they
guys.
book
Okay.
us. So
And I was
shout
gonna
out to
say, if you
Global
brought
Events. Yeah.
like, if you brought them over, 'cause yeah, it can get pricey with that many artists. Like,
Mhm,
I remember looking up these artists years ago, and it's like I know guys that used to do it, it's easily 30, 50,000, probably more, like,
mhm,
just bringing 1 or 2 artists down, like, it's a big I remember promoters doing that and using, like, all their savings, like a
mhm,
mortgage, right? To
mhm. Yeah.
this event doesn't work, then, you know
Somebody's crying in the car. Yeah.
Exactly, but I've always wanted to give it a try, like, more like a female showcase, like, wondering if
You
you
should.
do something like that, like just at least one time, try it. But
I
it's a mortgage payment, that's for sure. I
it
don't know.
definitely. But here's the thing. Um, why not? Why
True.
not? Um, I've always had the mentality of why not? You know, if not you, then somebody else will.
Yeah,
Right.
that's true.
And sometimes you're very successful, sometimes you're not, but at least you won't have to go through life saying woulda, shoulda, coulda, or what if,
True.
So if you have the capacity to do it, throwing events is hard. Throwing events is hard. You have to lean on other people. You have to trust other people to do their job and make
Mhm.
this work. Especially if it's some type of concert or a big party, weather becomes a factor. You know, how you promote it becomes a factor. Where you promote it becomes a factor.
Oh, for
It's a
sure.
lot to think about. Yeah.
And some
So,
have been disastrous out here in Toronto that made the news, like overcrowding,
hmm
like kind of the stuff we've seen lately at concerts where people,
hmm
things just go really, really bad. Um,
hmm
but yeah, I just thought a good 90s concert, like, bringing like Salt and Pepper, SWV, or like, at least for me, some of the ladies. And you don't
hmm
see a lot of women, I don't think, that are promoters. You don't see that too often in the industry. So I
hmm
just wanted to try, like, just one time, but I'm like, "Ooh, $50,000? I don't know, it's a little steep, a little that's a lot, you know?" Uh,
it's not just that.
yeah,
It's whether the artist is that 50,000 all in meaning that we don't have to do nothing else. I don't have to get you airfare or accommodations or anything like that. Or is it $50 plus I'm flying out my friends and this
exactly.
person? Yeah, so it's a lot, but you have to go into there with a solid contract and a great knowledge of how these things actually go.
Yeah,
And
well, yeah,
and then a lot of it is luck too. You got to cross your fingers that somebody don't get sick, somebody don't kick the bucket, somebody that don't have a nowadays like COVID. You know, artists have missed concerts because of COVID.
yeah, that's true, and then getting
Mhm,
across the border, like, I remember when Rakim performed here, he said half
mhm,
of his team, most hip hop artists, like, a
mhm,
lot of their teams can't make it up here because customs and the border is so
mhm,
strict that even if you have
mhm,
a DUI or some type of charge, even if it's, like, little small from, like, 10 years ago, they don't
mhm.
care, they're not bringing you over, So, they would
Right.
get on stage and be like, "I'm the only one on this stage right now." Rakim said that, and he's like, "All of my team couldn't make it over."
Mhm.
I do wonder how Snoop makes it into Canada. I really wonder about him. Like, how does Snoop Doggy Dogg make it and his whole entire team doesn't
He
make it over?
probably
I don't get
he
it.
probably he probably has global immunity or something.
Yeah,
Who knows?
maybe. I just don't get it with some artists. Yeah,
Mhm.
DJ Tantrum says that, yeah, they wouldn't allow you in the station. I agree. Well, we hear at the radio station I was at before that, like,
Mhm.
everyone has a stalker, like every radio personality. So they would not
Mhm.
let, like, anyone, when I was there, you would have people like sing jingles and tell you that they
Mhm.
know Bob Marley and get them on air. I'm just like, it's not that easy. Like, I can't just get you
Yeah.
on air. If it was, then I would be on air. I thought that was hilarious. Like, some of the
Mhm.
characters you see walk up to the radio station. Is that like that for
Mhm.
your radio station too? Like, you guys don't let anyone in? No one
No,
has
no, it's pretty tight security.
yeah,
Because of things that's happened before with stalkers
yeah.
or people standing outside the station and ready to fight or ready to kidnap somebody. Like it's just
Yeah, it's
it's
crazy.
radio. It
Yeah.
is definitely crazy.
Even if
Um,
the station isn't fancy, like, it's all perception, it's what people listen to. Like, when
uh-huh.
they hear you on the, airwaves, it almost becomes like you're, like, reality TV even though you're
Mhm.
not. Like,
Right.
people get really hooked, it's very interesting. I don't know if it's happened on Twitch to any of you guys, but there has been some interesting situations actually on
It
Twitch. Like,
yes, there has, man.
yeah, I've seen too, it's a bit
And
weird too.
then you have to, make sure it's secure for when the artist comes in for interviews. I
Mhm.
actually met Cardi B and didn't know that was Cardi B. She's like
Really?
it was when she, I guess, was shopping her first single,
Mhm.
and she had, she was on the Love and Hip Hop or whatever show she was on,
Yeah.
and um, I come into the station to do my show, and she's like waiting in the hallway with her manager, and they was like, "Oh, hey, this is such and such and such." I was like, "Hey, how you doing?" But again, you don't want to like fan out. But she
Yeah.
wasn't the Cardi that she is now. Like she was Cardi, hustling, trying to make it out here, and she looked like a little kid to me. I thought it was a little kid. I was like, "Hey,
Really?
how you doing?" Yeah, I'm like, "How you doing?" "All right, we'll take care. Send me that track." And then I went and did my show, and it wasn't until later on I was like, "Oh, that was Cardi B." Like,
Oh, shoot.
but that was and yeah, she's so regular and cool. But she didn't have that impact that she is now,
Yeah.
and I always thought that was funny because I just kind of walked past her in the hallway like, "Hey, how you doing?" "All right." Like, I gotta get to my show. Like, where now,
So
like,
funny.
"Oh, hey, let's talk." So yeah.
Have you ever had any artists you had to work with that were kind of a little bit diva-ish or a little bit, like, harder to work with at all?
A lot of them,
Oh, a lot of
but not all of them.
Mhm.
For the sake of legacy, I won't mention names, but I've
Hard
I've
getting
had,
names out of you guys. I tried getting some names out of Chanel B, it didn't work.
yeah,
I gotta use
it's
a
it's
different
hard.
strategy. Let me know, guys. Let me know what strategy I could use to get some names. No, it's
Yeah,
okay.
there's
I get it. It's probably
but,
safer not
but
name
there's
drop.
one that
But can
stands
you
out above.
describe a scenario?
Yeah, um, a person did not want me to DJ, um, for whatever reason. We got our things that we think it may be, but didn't want me to DJ, threatened not to go on because it was not going to DJ if I DJ, because that particular person had their own DJ, and me DJing may mess up what they got going on, besides the 4-page letter of songs that I was told not to play that this particular person handed to me. It was just like, wow, like you're a legend. Like you don't need to be like that.
Mhm.
And really pitched a fit, like a tantrum almost. And I thought that was interesting. And every time that person comes to an event or a town and we're on the same bill, he tries to not get me to DJ.
Oh man, I don't know why it's like that sometimes in this industry. Like, I feel like sometimes do you think that I don't know how it is in your city, but it's Toronto's a tough place, tough market,
Hmm.
you know? But
Hmm.
sometimes I feel like people in this industry feel like there's only one door that's going to open, you know? And it's like
Hmm.
I'm going to take that door before you let the other person take it. But I think if you change your mindset and realize that there's doors for like any of us, you know, it's not just that one door. Like
Yeah.
there's plenty of doors that can open even if you're in a small city. Like,
Hmm.
how do you feel that it's like in Ohio? Is it kind of like that too? Where, I mean, this industry is competitive, right? And a lot of times
It
people
is.
compete more than work with one another. But I'm a firm believer if you actually work with each other, you know, you can really put your city or your place like on the map, like make even more bigger, you know, when you're kind of
Hmm.
united together, not
Yeah.
uh, competing against each other. What are your thoughts on that too?
Um, well, yeah, you are absolutely correct. It is a very hard market. The person I was talking about was not a Cincinnati DJ. This was a nationally known, internationally known person,
Yeah.
artist. Um, but Ohio is weird. When I first got on Twitch, I would say I'm from Cincinnati, not Ohio. And because everything is so regionalized, like the issues that we have here may not be the issues that Big Stove and Relly Rail and D Man and them have up in Cleveland. May not be the issues that Rich Nice and Jama and them have in Columbus.
Mhm.
Because there are so many things or so many little things to do in each city. Um, some DJs band together and they have their cliques and they run this amount of clubs, restaurants, and bars. Um, some DJs band together, like my crew. We throw on our own events, and we want you to have a good time, to come out, dance, party, and be sweaty when the time you leave. So we throw our own events, and what we call our my crew is called the Cool Kids. So
Hmm.
it's 4 DJs, and we've been throwing events for 10 years. And we work together. We're actually friends. We care about each other. And that is the major difference, I think, between us and other crews, um, because we're not afraid to make that leap to throw our own events. And then separately, we're all like the Avengers. Like we all have our individual movies and movements, but when we come together, it's a huge thing. I'm not for sure that a lot of other people um, get into that. I know that there's other DJ crews and but sometimes depending on who you put together, there's turmoil, there's drama, there's backstabbing. But
Hmm.
I can at least say that we don't have that in our crew. So I don't I don't necessarily know how the market is in Columbus. I've done events in Columbus. I've done events in Cleveland as well. So I don't know. Like I can't really comment on the other major cities in Ohio. I know down here in Cincinnati is very competitive, um, but it depends on what lane you want to go down. There's plenty of lanes that you can walk down, plenty of pathways, but know that some of them are very, very competitive.
So what keeps you like humble in this industry and just like out of all the, I guess, drama that you could see between artists or DJs, like just what keeps you grounded?
My first gig,
Hmm.
it keeps me grounded. That feeling that I had that actually I'm DJing. There's some people that came here to hear me DJ. Um, I know that DJing doesn't last forever. Right? I am thankful, I'm humble, and I'm blessed to be at the part where I am. Um, I don't think it's bragging, but I do know where I came from, and I do know how the city has some very legendary DJs,
Hmm.
um, and I've learned from all of them. Um, and I just try to stay like I never want to be that person that outside of DJing. Yes, I'm an Aries and sometimes I'm an asshole, but I
Hmm.
never want to carry that into DJing to where I keep my head high in the sky and never want to give back to anybody. I think when I first started, there was a situation where there was a what I consider a legendary DJ here. Um, I was in a record store looking for something and a particular song, and he came in, and I was like, "Oh, thank God," because I had been in the record store for 2 hours looking for this song. Uh, "Wine Pon Me," Johnny Mize, but I didn't know the name of the song. And he said, "Yeah, I hear you're a DJ now. You got to find it yourself." And I'm like, "You could have easily just said what the name of the song. I didn't say give it to me. I didn't tell you where to point it out at, but you said that, and I said from that moment on, I would never ever turn my back on a DJ that needs help. So I try to stay grounded in that all this can go away in a split second. So enjoy it while
So
you can.
true. And the other people that you may not consider big or dismiss, they can like move a lot quicker, faster with the door
Hmm.
open for them, you know? So
Hmm.
it's like you never
Hmm.
know like what can happen. I see that also on Twitch a little bit too, right? Like so you
Hmm.
just you never know, you know? So yeah, I think it's always good to be respectful whether you're
Hmm.
digging someone or not. Like you just never know, you know? And I do believe open doors can happen for all of us.
Hmm.
It's not just a one-time thing. So people don't need to be insecure saying, well, you don't deserve a spot, whether it's radio or DJing or a platform,
Hmm.
because
Hmm.
doors definitely do open in different ways, you know? I just want to thank Big Stove too. Sorry, I apologize. 25 minutes ago, you resubscribed to my show. I appreciate it. 2 months strong with me. Thank you so much, Big Stove. Hopefully, you're still in the room as well.
Hmm.
Definitely missed that one because I'm looking at another laptop here and a phone and a few other things you guys can see. But let's see here. Yeah, Just Jen says here he's given huge digital crates of music to DJs just starting out. Oh, really? Oh man, I gotta find
Yeah.
you. We gotta talk after that. I need some crates. I lost a lot of music too with those
Oh,
external
did you?
drives, those drives that crash.
Oh,
So it's like rebuilding that thing up again, you know? Now I have to make
okay.
sure that I have double like, I have to make
Okay.
sure that I have backups for stuff, right?
I
Yeah.
I am notorious for losing hard drives.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, yeah. I remember I lost 300,000 songs and I couldn't recover it. So from that moment, which was years ago, I am a hard drive copying king. And just with this Black Friday sales and stuff, I bought like solid state drives now. So um even faster. So just let me know, what I have
Yeah,
is
that'd be amazing.
um
Yeah.
and as far as here's the thing,
Mhm.
there will never ever be another DJ Honeyflow. They can name themselves DJ Honeyflow, but they are not you, correct? They
Hmm.
cannot play the song the way that you play it.
Mhm.
They cannot, have the charisma that you have, the business sense and the charm, and they can't take your lane, even if they name themselves you.
Mhm.
Um, there's only one Vader, and no matter if we are in the same lane, if we are, catering to the same audience, I'm gonna play a song different than you play a song, and I try to keep reminding myself that I try to look out for a lot of DJs in the city in total, um, and it's not always welcome, right? Just because someone is in a different spot than I am. Um, and again, I'm humble because any of this stuff can be taken away at any given moment. But you know, if you're not applying yourself to get out there to be known, um, you got to put in work. Like this is still a business, and a lot of DJs don't treat it like a business, but they expect a handout to just be given to them. Now, if you are starting out, and you got to start out somewhere. I think Jim reached out to me about a particular DJ that had just started out on Twitch, who didn't really have any music. So myself, I think LV, a couple other people, just sent this person music based off the relationship that we had when we first joined Twitch. And when we
Mhm.
all first got here, we didn't know what the hell was going on, and we would follow each other, we would listen to each other. There was nothing else to do.
Mhm.
So, well, let me take that back. I still had to work. Everybody else was like at home, but and it became a close, tight knit family. And I like to try to keep that same vibe every time that you come to the channel. Like I'm gonna talk to you. I'm gonna shout you out. I want people to follow you, um, because no matter what's going on, I'm still gonna be Vader, and you're still gonna be Honey Flow, and the people who streaming is still gonna be the people that's streaming. And I just this here lately on Twitch has been really uh weird. Weird. You go to channels sometimes and you don't feel welcome like you used to feel welcome. Become very territorial. So I don't
Yeah,
know.
I feel that too,
Mhm.
definitely, and I think sometimes people may feel inferior too, like if you like chat it up in chat rooms a lot or you talk to people like DJs may not like that, mods may not like that, but like you can only be who you are, right? And I think
Mhm.
if you just come authentically who you are, you're definitely not going to get people liking you all the time, you know? Um,
Mhm.
I'm a little bit more naive to that. I seem to think, I don't know, maybe honestly, I'm being completely honest with you. Like, I sometimes living maybe in a bit of a bubble where my friends are like, "Girl, do you not realize what the real world is out there?" Like, but I've noticed that too. Like you get ups and you get downs, right? And
Uh-huh.
everyone's going to gravitate to your personality or gravitate to you, but the right tribe will eventually get to you. And
Mhm.
just remain true to who you are, even if it's different, even if it's like, I don't know, just not kind of the norm, but to
Mhm.
always be who you are. That's kind of what I'm learning right now too in this season. Um,
Mhm.
But yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it's definitely interesting. I try to stay out of as much drama as I can,
Mhm.
and just
Good.
focus on your show, right? That's
Mhm.
the main important thing, and the people that are there, whether it's 5 people or whether it's 100 people,
Mhm.
because you could have 100 followers, but like, are they really supporters and really there for you, or they just there for like 2 seconds and they leave after a shout out? Like, so I think
Mhm.
it's really important to have build that right tribe, whether it's Twitch or wherever it may be. It may not be Twitch. So,
Um, Also, Saudi made a good point. I guess,
mhm.
s s
Is it right here?
since
Hey, oh, so salty. I see you as well.
okay.
Saw you earlier. Was it this one?
Yeah, since there are less viewers on Twitch these days, DJs are starting to be more stingy and territorial. Woo! That's a lot. Um, but in what way can you be really territorial when the people, your viewers, run Twitch? DJs don't run Twitch. We just play music. We're just a vessel. Um,
But
but
a
yeah,
lot of
I can
DJs
get
are the
that.
viewers. A lot of DJs are the viewers too, though, right?
That's true.
So,
That's true.
yeah.
Um, there's a lot of
And a lot
anger in
will
these streets
sit and
too.
scrutinize, like, but the thing is I kind of feel like there's different DJs. Like, there's no way I could ever relate myself to a turntablist DJ. I wish I could. I wish I could relate myself to you and all these other amazing guys I see on Twitch, but I can't because I'm not a turntablist DJ. Like, my scratching's
But
like, "Erk, eek, ook," like, it's horrible, right?
but
But like,
but
but I
does
think
that make
there's different
you
DJs. There's wedding DJs, there's corporate,
yeah,
there's
yeah.
DJs that can't MC, there's DJs that would never be able to do a talk show or just talk in front of a camera. Like, I feel
Mhm.
like we all have strengths in different
Mhm.
ways, but I think sometimes DJs do come in the room and definitely scrutinize and kind of look with this certain eye, like, what the heck? Like, like, what kind of
Yeah.
controller are you using? Like, I want to see, like, I've had guys actually ask me, well, why are you using a green screen? Like, I want to see if you actually using equipment. And I'm like, but would you ask a guy DJ to take off their green
Right.
screen because you want to see their controller? Like, so I remember
Right.
pointing the camera. I was so annoyed. I'm like, here you go. And I pointed the camera down
Mm.
to show the controller because it was like asked multiple times. And
Mhm.
I mean, people use different things when they're streaming, right? Uh,
Yeah.
but yeah, but lots of people have green screens too, right? So,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. I didn't have one when we started out. I definitely did not have one. But you learn, you watch,
Mhm.
you learn, and you just kind of take what you learn and apply it to your channel. Not biting, because I've seen that too, when people like word for word just bite. But I get it. Like everybody's out here trying to make it.
True. Yeah, especially if they're doing it full time too, it's probably a little bit more of a hustle when you're trying to do full time at this than if you're just doing it leisurely
Yeah.
too, right?
Yeah.
So, how do
What
you
it
keep focused on your show and like out of all that, but how do you just keep, focused and positive just on the show that you're doing and you're building as well?
um let's see. I think because when we all started, like Pine Sol literally was just three people. Vince Adams, myself, Rich Nice, and that was
Mhm.
it. And just remembering those beginnings and to where it is now. And eh, like Twitch is permanent for me. Maybe the days have changed, maybe the times change. Sometimes I have to take some time off because real life be real life, and real life gigs. Like when the world started opening back up, and the calls were coming in, and I had events to throw and contracts to fulfill because things that got shut down. I was kind of salty. I was like, I like it here. Like, I don't want to leave. So I want to always make sure because I've met you all through this platform and I
Mhm.
consider us all family and friends. And I don't ever want, anybody to feel like I abandoned what we all built together. So I have an obligation. I feel like I have an obligation to fulfill when doing these streams, and seeing my people. There's some times where I just can't stream. Like there's no way that I can do Saturday morning and a gig Saturday afternoon and a concert Saturday night
Yeah, I
and a
don't
radio station.
that's a
Yeah,
lot. I don't know
Yeah,
how you do
so
that. Like, props to you, because that's a lot of work. Like, when I looked
it
at
is.
everything you did, I was like, you
Mhm.
know, that's yeah, it's a lot to juggle for sure.
It is. It is.
Yeah.
Um, and so sometimes I have to say, "Hey, I can't stream," you know?
Mhm.
Not that I don't want to. There's been a couple times that I've been in a funk and be like, I don't feel like streaming because I don't want it to come out that,
DJ
that airy
Tank
size. I don't
says
want it to come out on the stream. Yeah.
gonna be your stunt double, whenever
Come
you
on,
can't go
dancing.
live. Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And I'll be the background dancer since he loves line dances, guys. That's another thing we were getting into his chat about, which I thought was hilarious. DJ Vadermixx says he is not a fan of line dances. So we're gonna talk about that too. So I mean, DJ Tantra can take over a stream and DJ. I'll do the line dance. I'll learn it. So how come you're not a fan? I'm curious of because I actually just checked too. You did the 2022 Men of Honor gala. I was like, oh
Hmm.
wow, I
Yeah.
definitely would have liked to be there because there was a lot of men suited up, very handsome in suits. Not often. So I was
Yeah.
like, but it looked like an
So
amazing event too there.
it was.
Yeah.
It was. And shout out to the Abercrombie group who puts it together every year.
Bald face says
SJ,
he hates
yeah,
them.
I hate them. I hate them. Now, well, let me hate is a strong word. I don't hate them. I dislike them while I'm DJing. If I'm not DJing, hey, you got to do what you got to do. But for whatever reason in the world, there's this mentality that play something I can dance to. All right, well, what can you dance to? Well, play a line dance. Like, no, you could dance to anything, but it becomes like the cover all for dancing. And as a DJ, it's frustrated because I got a lot of music in my head, and I know I could play some stuff and sweat your weaves out and all that stuff. But you want to line dance, and it's so
So you have to kinda stay
tiring.
in that lane of, like, music line dancing type music then?
Yeah, well, no, you have to play it, but if a person is sitting down the whole night because they're waiting on the wobble, and they're waiting and
Mhm.
they're waiting and they're waiting,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
oh, that's my jam, but I ain't gonna go out until they play the wobble. And when
Mhm.
the wobble comes on, now what? You know, I always say, and shout out to Mike Drop, uh, it's not always the wobble, it's the song after that's the most important song of the night because now you got everybody out because everybody want to show you that I can do this line dance, and now you got to keep them out there, and now you got to prove your worth. And some people are just line dance DJs, and that's fine. That's their lane. That's a lane
Yeah.
I will never ever touch. Um, sometimes people, you know, like perfect example. We talked
Mhm.
about this on Pine So in Cincinnati, yes, we line dance. There's groups of line dances, line dance gangs, you know.
Mhm.
But
Oh,
it's not a
Doctor
line dance,
Priest. She's giving you a run for her money. How you doing, Doctor Dave Priest? She's like, "I like line dancing."
and that's
I can
fine.
see
That
her
is
doing that,
fine.
line
But
dancing. I do
I
too. I like it.
and that's great. But there's nothing wrong with line dancing. But if that's the only thing that you're doing, if you're at a party and you're just waiting for the line dance, and you don't dance to anything else, then that's what I have a problem with.
Well, at least
Now,
they're
and
not standing beside your DJ booth just watching you without blinking like a creepy lurker. That's what they do. They do that to female DJs. They'll just stand there the whole entire time. They want like a DJ chorus on DJing when you're on a stage. And it's
yeah,
like,
I
I
get
don't
that too.
have time for that. Yeah.
I get that too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I get that a lot. And
Big,
I have to
big,
remind people that, hey, it doesn't seem like I'm working, but this is a job. I'm working.
yeah, it's true.
And see, like Big Stove, I'm not trying to be somewhere that the DJ spends 8 line dances in a row, right?
I
And
like
so,
it. We don't do that enough out here as Canadians. Like we
uh-huh,
really don't. I mean, they may dance to like the cha-cha slide or like,
hmm,
but they don't it's not like Americans like you guys like when I'm on a boat cruise with Americans, you guys definitely have dances, right? You have,
yeah,
stepping. you have all these cool dances, and we don't really have that out here. So I love
Yeah.
doing that, you know? Yeah.
Um, but regionally, like Cincinnati is not like it's starting to get that way very slowly. Like a lot of line dances. Like some people are line dance to any song. No matter what song, what BPM, what tempo, they're gonna do some type of line dance to it. I went
Mhm.
to Cleveland and every song they played, they was out there doing a line dance to.
I
And I
like
was
it.
like,
Oh my
that
gosh, you gotta videotape this for me. I would love to see it. Yeah,
reach out to Relly Rel and D-Man, well, and all of our Twitch Cleveland DJs. Like it is crazy. Like I didn't even know it was a line dance in these songs.
that's so
And I had to go, like, back to the hotel, take a shower, and shower that line dancing off of me because
now
I
that
didn't wanna
line
take it
dance,
back down t
is it the same line dance that they're doing?
No, they've
Oh, it's
got, like, different like, this is like the Olympics of line dancing or something. It was
the only
crazy.
time I really see that is when I play Spanish music for Filipinos, then you'll have, like,
Mhm.
1,000 of them on the dance floor doing their little like, their own dances to each every
Okay.
single song kinda thing, but we
Okay.
don't really I don't really see, like that, like, people doing the wobble too much out here and different things. Yeah, I gotta visit just for that, but I guess
Mhm.
it's just as bad as, like, you know how you hate those wedding tracks that you have to play at a wedding and you just it cringes you? Like for me, like although Celebration by Kool and the Gang is a great song, I don't like playing it. I just do not like playing those typical wedding tracks, you know, and everyone still goes crazy and loves it, but I'm like, "I'm
Mhm.
over Celebration." Like, yeah.
Mhm.
Is there any tracks
Yeah.
that kinda get to you where you're like, you have to play, but you're like, "I'm so over this song?"
I'm over, uh, 24 Karat Magic.
Oh, yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
I'm over Celebration. I'm over obviously the wobble. Um, I'm over
YMCA, I'm over.
um, what else am I over? I'm over Don't Stop Believing.
Oh, Journey. Yeah, I
Yeah.
can't. Everyone loves it. Actually, I was with the DJ. I don't know if I should be saying this. Hopefully, it doesn't offend anyone in this room.
Mhm.
He was joking. But he was. We were doing this Indian wedding, and his background, he was white DJ, right? And he's like,
Mhm.
guess what? He's like, this is going to be catnip for white people. He's like, watch this. So then he slips on Journey, and like all the people in the room are like, we love you, and they're all like this. They're like, yeah, man, we love you, and he just kept saying that all night. I'm like, "Would you stop whispering this to me? Like, you're gonna get me into trouble, you know?" But it was funny because every song that he played, and Journey was one of them, and just
Mhm.
reaction, I'm like, "Get me out of this place. I'm good." But I agree. Like, Journey's a great song, but it's just like, I'm over that song too. I agree with you. Yeah.
Mhm.
For sure. Yeah. Is there any songs
Um,
that you guys have in the chat room that you're kinda over, like you do not wanna hear? If you guys have any songs, let us know in the chat room. I know Big Stove says, the chicken dance is that the people yeah, they do at weddings and holiday parties. I agree, I don't like the chicken dance or the Macarena. I've had to
mhm.
play that too. Oh, is there a spam bot? I'm not sure. Okay, thanks for letting me know. Yeah, let us know if you guys have any songs that you just cannot listen to.
Mhm.
Just Jen says 24 Magic is amazing. It's a Thunder from Down Under song. Oh my gosh. So I immediately think male accountants. Okay, that is a hilarious comment. That's funny. Let's see here. Oh, Big Stove says, Johnny Gill's The Floor, The Wobble, The Booty Call, The New Jack Swing, The Tamia Dance. I love the Tamia Dance. I think I saw it. So you didn't even like that with Tamia? That
I
was
mean,
amazing.
it's cool.
Yeah.
Look, it's cool to watch people, but
Yeah.
when you're DJing, it's just like, it's like hitting the easy button. When
Yeah.
you remember those commercials, staple commercials with the easy button?
Yeah.
Line dances are hitting the easy button.
Yeah, I hear what
And
you're saying. Seagriff said
yeah.
Sweet Home Alabama. Yeah, anything Sweet Cliff, I would agree with you. Oh,
Yeah,
salties like the chicken dance. Oh, hell nah, I agree with you. I'm not interested in that chicken dance either. People love it though, which is crazy. Um,
yeah.
she also says, "Oh, sweet, those sweet Carolina songs." Um, yeah, those get in your head too, like Cheers, but they
Mhm.
kind of get in your head though when you play them, you know? Uh,
Yeah, depending on how much you've had to drink. Now, on my when I do wedding consultations, on my website,
mhm,
um, when say a person hires me to do their wedding, and so I have a website inside of my website to where they can request songs,
mhm.
but I tell them most important is the do not play songs. And here lately, it's been all the songs we've been naming, the Sweet Carolines,
Really?
the Don't
Really?
Stop Believing. Yeah, yeah, they don't want to hear that crap.
Oh,
They are sick of it.
yeah.
Brown eyed girl, all that stuff. Like,
I don't mind once in a while Sweet Carolina. I don't mind
hmm
once in a while, but yeah, not I'm not a fan to be like, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna play that."
hmm
People have such weird tastes, right? Like they have such interesting tastes. Okay, I'm blocking this bot. I think there's one coming in here. Yeah. Um like let's see. Oh, DJ Tantrum says there's not going to be any line dancing songs at a wedding. So what
there
would
you
you
go.
yeah, what would you, could 'cause you are versatile in a lot of different things that you DJ. I can't really say you're one DJ or you're the other because really you've done a lot of different things, but is there anything that you really, like, love doing? Any specific events that you love doing?
Um, I really like doing my own events because now I got creative freedom to play whatever I want.
Mhm.
I like showing versatility. The Blink Festival that we just had it was amazing. It was so many people there, and you pretty much got to play whatever you wanted, but you had to keep it family friendly. But um, the best events I would say are usually besides concerts and being in arenas, would be my own events.
Oh, okay, nice. And is there any artist that, "Hey, the party rocker Kev G, how you
Hey,
doing?"
what's up, man?
Yeah, and everyone else that's slipped in here too. I hope
Mhm,
glad you guys are joining the show as well and learning something different or new.
mhm.
With DJ Vadermixx. So make sure you guys add him for the one person in the room that doesn't know who DJ Vadermixx is. Make sure you guys are adding him as well. So can you think of like the worst event that you've had like over the years?
Ooh, yes, yes, this is funny. So, me and my crew, we threw a free party. It was a free, like, bring a canned good, get in free, like, Thanksgiving type of vibe party. Guess what happened?
Oh no, I'm afraid.
Nobody really came. They didn't come,
Oh,
which was
really?
funny. No, it was like we were like, "What the hell?" Alright, but this was, definitely probably closer to 10 years ago, and, um, we were like it was a free party,
Mm-hmm.
and then we turn around and, like, 3 weeks later, throw a party that the tickets are like $20, and it was jam-packed, it was at capacity. I
That's
was like, "I
so
don't understand."
yeah.
Yeah, it's just weird, but,
But don't feel bad because did you know James Brown didn't get anyone coming in at Home City? I think he was selling it like $300 a ticket. So then
uh-huh,
he lowered it to $3. I was so annoyed, guys. I woke up this in the morning and everyone's like, "Oh my gosh, James Brown, James Brown." I went to sleep because I couldn't afford $300 for a ticket, although he deserves it because it's James Brown. He
uh-huh.
lowered that ticket to $3 and I missed that show. I was, like, crying in the morning, like, "I can't believe I missed James Brown," and he didn't get anyone showing up because people in my home city, Winnipeg, are not gonna pay even $100 to see an artist, like but
Mhm.
$3 they will go out in the cold for. Yeah, so that happened to James
Wow.
Brown too. Pinky with Attitude, how you doing? I see you. DJ
Hey,
Jam Jams, great set earlier, girl. Make sure you guys are adding her as well, doing big things, and,
all the folks in here. Nice.
yes. If you guys are a streamer, just throw a one in the chat. If you're a mod, put a two in the chat. Make sure you guys add one another. I think that would be the easiest thing. So that was the worst. Hey, DJ Ali, I see you
Well,
here.
that wasn't the worst. The most
Mhm,
embarrassing was the weekend of Cincinnati Music Festival. It was a few years back. I was DJing for Big Daddy Kane,
mhm.
which is my bucket list, one of my bucket lists. And it was outside, and I had, we had the crowd going. He came out, he's performing his songs, and all of a sudden the music starts slowing down. And I'm
No.
like, what is going on? But he's trying to keep, he's so professional, he's trying to keep up with it. He's kind of looking back at me.
Yeah.
And so what it was that the sun was peeking over my shoulder and
Mhm.
heated up the laptop. So the MacBook started shutting down because it was overheated.
Cute.
Yeah. And so then the music finally came to a slow stop. Laptop said it was overheated. So we start throwing fans on it. Everybody started booing. And he's like, no, no, that's not his fault. The laptop got overheated. Like technology happens, but we gonna sing this stuff a cappella. And he kept the crowd going until the laptop fired back up and we finished the show. But man, that was the worst time. That was the longest, longest 5 minutes I ever had in my life.
Yeah, that would be. And everyone blames the DJ. Like, I mean,
Yeah,
you could have people come on the stage, you could have people unplug the cord or something happen, and it's
yeah.
their fault. It's not your fault, but everyone, like even if it's like a wedding, if it's like the lighting, the audio, the food, like everyone is going to the DJ, right?
Mhm,
It's kind
mhm.
of funny how that works. It's like I wish we could have something to make people know that it's not our fault, but
Nah,
maybe the
it
laptop was a little bit.
yeah, I mean, if it's good, then you blame the DJ. If it's bad, you blame the DJ. So,
Exactly. Have you ever,
yeah.
like, been afraid? So, I'm gonna mention this again. I know I did on Instagram, guys, when we were on there for a little bit, but I'm gonna say this again because I think it should really be said because of all the work that he's really truly done. So these are some of the artists he's worked with, guys. Jazzy Jeff, Big Daddy Kane, Chub Rock, Kid Capri, Dougie Fresh, Houdini, Bismarcky, Rick Ross, Too Short, Slick Rick, Naughty by Nature, Spinderella, Dave Hollister, Cedric the Entertainer, Carl Thomas, the Daz Band, and of course Tom Joyner as well. Like, out of all
Mhm.
these artists, were you ever nervous working with any of them?
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. I mean, you are with legends,
Hmm.
and you want to make sure that like that's your time. That's your only time that you get to have with this person, this artist, and you want to make sure that everything is great. Now, my number one bucket list was Jazzy Jeff, and we both did this the whole night. This was the lineup. It was myself, it was Jazzy Jeff, and it was MC Light. That's it. Like no other people. It was just us three, and we all had our time. And during sound check earlier that day, I asked him, I said, hey, is there anything you want me to stay away from? Because I always try to be professional when, especially if there's another DJ on lineup or if the artist has a DJ. Obviously, you stay away from their own stuff, but is there anything you want me to stay away from? And he said, no. He was so cool. He was like, no, there's billions and billions of records in the universe. He said, play whatever you want to play. But I tell you this, I'm
Hmm.
gonna be on your ass. So whatever energy you leave off with is the energy I'm coming in with. He's
Hmm.
like, so I was like, okay, all right. So it's still Jazzy Jeff, and I was nervous as hell. It all worked out. It was a legendary night. But yeah, I've been nervous around like if I don't get butterflies, then I don't care that much about it.
Hmm.
So I still get butterflies on Twitch. So
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, especially if you
so
take time off and then you come back, you're like, "Oh, I have butterflies right now." Yeah,
hmm
that's amazing.
yeah,
Wow, she seems like she's been to a lot of your shows. Bald Saved Tatted Girl as well, because she's like,
yeah.
"That was dope night." So she seems like a true follower. And just Jen,
That's
she's definitely a power mod, man. She's also helping me in my chat, so I appreciate it. I was like, wow, how do you keep up, girl? Seriously, I might have to do a mod show to figure out how you
so-
guys as mods keep up. We got DJ Allier too in the building that does an awesome
hey, hey, hey.
too. So yeah, well that's interesting. So out of all the is there anyone on your bucket list you would like to work with because you have worked with a lot of different people? Like is there any one that you'd be like, "Oh man, even if they passed away, is there anyone that comes to mind?"
Uh, I mean, you got the legends that moved on, of course, Prince and Michael Jackson. Every year I do a Prince party on his birthday
Mhm.
called the Darling Nikki Affair. I think this last one we live streamed it on Twitch from the location. It was a good time. But uh I don't know. I don't my bucket list, my top 3 has already been fulfilled. And not to say that there's not other people that I would like to work with.
What were your top 3? I know you said Big Daddy Kane and Jazzy. Was it?
Jazzy Jeff, um, Kid Capri, Big Daddy Kane, Chubb Rock, um, and Janet Jackson. So that was this past summer.
Oh, that would be amazing. Janet? Wow.
Yeah.
Have you ever
So
messed up, like, on an artist besides the Big Daddy Kane with your your laptop kind of blowing out, getting overheated? Was there any time, like, you might have played the wrong track or brought it in, and they're trying to sing or rap or do something over it, and it just didn't really work?
uh it happened with uh it happened with Dana Dane. Um
Oh.
so Dana Dane is a friend of mine. So but he came and performed for my birthday one year, and like he has signals, to cut the music or, let it go or whatever. And he hit the signal and I jumped to the next track like shit. And he kind of looked like, what the hell? But
Oh,
it
no.
worked out. But it was definitely so yeah, I mean mistakes happen. We're human. Um, but it's the how you recover from it is the big key. So
Yeah, for sure. It definitely is. Hey, Disco Darren, how you doing? Good to see you as well.
what
Make
up,
sure you
man?
guys adding each other in the room too. So is there any goals that you have like for Twitch? Because it seems like you're doing a lot on Twitch too. Like if you could do anything, like do you have any future goals for Twitch? I know you said that you're going to be on here uh pretty much
Yeah, I just
permit.
want to continue to grow and be you know open and welcome to people when they come in the stream. um I'm working on adding another day during the week, maybe even a night, because most of my streams, to be honest, are in the morning or daytime, like
Mhm.
early afternoon. um it's only on Thursday night that it's actually at night. I actually would like to stream more at night.
Can
More
you stream
collaboration.
Fireball? That would be cool. I guess you can.
Say you
Can you
can't what? Say
Can you stream from the fire hall? That would be so dope.
nah. You all wouldn't like it. It's
I would like
it.
it. I wanna see. I want a tour of this fire hall.
I can give you a tour, but
Yeah.
streaming from there, nah.
No?
It can be very loud, and when
Oh,
you're dealing with multiple personalities,
yeah,
you
that's
might
true.
not get much work done.
Any of your coworkers watch you? Do you know?
I don't. They say, I mean, they go to the parties and events, but it's really hard to get a lot of people um, transferred over to Twitch because they're
Mhm.
comfortable on Facebook.
It is.
Um,
It's very, very hard. Even people like, I look at people that have been trying to do it, like Full Blast Radio and others, right? From
hmm
YouTube.
hmm
I think he's got 60 or how many thousand people on YouTube and even bringing them over, and he's kinda doing the same thing that I decide to do today, like, although
hmm
I'm not it's not big like that, I'm like, "You know what? Let me try Instagram or try
hmm
these different apps." Even TikTok,
hmm
could be a good, tool, but it is hard bringing people over, to
Yeah.
Twitch. It's a great platform. Um,
It is.
great
It is.
global community as well, right? None of us
Mhm.
would have met each other, like you said, ever in a lifetime
Mhm.
if it weren't for Twitch, and this
Right.
pandemic. So,
Mhm.
yeah, I think it definitely is a
Absolutely.
place. Yeah, for sure. So we got about 10 minutes left, you guys. Wow, it's gone by so fast.
That
Um,
has.
if you guys have any questions, it's not just me asking. So if you guys have any questions, definitely throw them in the chat room and anything you want to know about how did you get your name Vadermixx? It's a pretty cool name.
Ooh.
Dark Vader, I would assume, but like it's a cool name.
Um, so avid Star Wars fan since I was a child, and uh, I got into a fight as when I was a kid,
Hmm.
um, and I choked a guy.
Oh, wow. You don't
I
seem like
know.
a violent type at all. You seem like
I'm still an Aries.
someone that, like, brings flowers, delivers flowers and a piece of cake to you.
Well, when I choked him, I kind of held him up, like, and they was like, "Oh, he did him like Vader." So that was the start of it.
Oh,
Uh,
man.
and then later on, me and my friends would call each other characters off of Star Wars. And we had a crew back when somewhere in the archives of history, I used to rap,
Oh,
but only for freestyling in the house and stuff like that.
can you
But
do can you spit it a little freestyle?
nah, that's a
No?
long lifetime ago. Yeah,
In 2
nah,
lines? 1 line?
nah, no.
If you do, I'll do one.
No, well, you do one, and I
Oh,
will applaud you.
I think I gotta think about it, though.
Okay.
Oh, man, mine's
Um,
gonna sound really bad, so never mind.
yeah, that's a super young Vader. And so it kind of kept caught on from there. That was not Vader was not my first DJ name by
Mhm.
far. It wasn't even my second DJ name. So those other two will not ever be repeated in the history of this world. But I didn't want to use Vader because I
Mhm.
thought it was cheesy, and I thought George Lucas was gonna sue me. But I got urged to do it, and here we are.
It's a cool
So
name, I like it, Vadermix. That's a cool story. Junior asks, "What about the story where your Prince record got broken?"
that's gonna take longer than the time that we have. But to ad lib, to give you the tweet version of it. So Purple Rain came out. Um, Erotic City was a B-side record of I forgot what the A side was, but my older cousin, um, she for whatever reason I got home before she got home from school, or got to my aunt's house before she got home from school, and I was listening to it, and she had these cool headphones, cool component system. I'm listening to it, and I am like, eventually keep listening over and over again. I start learning the words and lyrics, and I didn't think nobody was there. I'm singing out loud, singing the chorus, singing a hook, uh, f bombs and everything. And next thing I know, that I just felt a white flash and seeing the headphones tumbling forward.
Oh, no.
Um, as I was coming fastly to the floor, as I turn around, it's my aunt. Now my
Oh,
aunt is about the size of Yoda, but she's mean
oh.
and she's not mean. She is highly
Yoda?
favorite, and
Who calls Yoda? You're
she
making fun of short
because
people there?
yes, and but she is full of knowledge, and she did not like what she heard. Where'd you get this? I didn't want to rat out my cousin. I'm like, I don't know. I just kind of found it. Where'd you get this? I don't
Mhm.
know. I don't know. And so she took the record and she broke it over her knee. Pot. And I was like, oh shit. Like I
Wow.
so she eventually found out it was my cousin's, and my cousin come in from school, probably had a great day at school, to a
Mhm.
butt whooping because of me and Erotic City and Prince. So
That's
that is the
hilarious.
super fast version of it.
Oh, man, and it's always, like, the small ones that are, the most vicious. I know
Yeah.
that because 'cause I'm only 5'1", and trust me, we may be
Are
sweet,
you?
but we are the most vicious. We're like the little dogs on the street, I think, the little chihuahuas, and I always consider like the big guys, like the big dogs that are minding their own business on the street, and it's always the
Uh-huh.
little ones that are, like, grinding their teeth and feisty at you. So when you mentioned your aunt what is it? Yoda? Like,
Yeah,
how
Yoda.
small Yoda's small, isn't it? Wasn't that the small
Yeah.
little yeah.
My auntie Marion, she's like 4
You
foot
better be careful because 'cause they're gonna come after
8.
you.
I
They
know, I know. She know I love her to death, but, um, let's see. Any new renovations to the bar? Uh, I don't know. I'm always doing something to it. I built a bourbon shelf in it. That was pretty cool. I'm thinking about I'm adding a humidor, cigar humidor to it. So I'll show
Oh,
you all the
cool.
pictures.
So how many
So
hats and shoes oh, yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
no, no, no. During the pandemic, built a bar in the
Mhm.
backyard,
Cool.
and it's called Barbados. So that's
Mhm.
that's what he's referring to.
Oh, nice. I gotta check that out. Is that on your page? I don't think I saw that actually.
Nah, I haven't officially put it out there yet, but everybody knows about it. It's like a known unknown thing.
Is it like an
Um,
outdoor bar, or is it kind of like you built it, like, covered or
n-
something?
no, it's an outdoor bar.
Oh, that's really cool. You could also
Yeah.
stream out there then in the
I
summertime.
I did it once. I did it with I did a food thing out there with one of the chefs. So it was
Oh,
pretty
okay.
cool.
Oh,
Hmm.
nice. Yeah, that's awesome. So any other questions? Hey, Immaculate, good to see you as well. Um, if there's any other questions you
Hey,
guys have, definitely drop them in the chat. We got Miss Fee in the building. Good to see you
hey,
as
Miss
well.
Fee. Miss Fee is on a tiny island.
Uh, yeah, thanks for coming through, you guys. I don't know if anyone came through from Instagram, but it was definitely worth the try.
Hmm.
Um, see here. Yeah, so if you guys got questions or anything for Vadermixx, now's the time to ask. Definitely. I also saw that you did a museum, which I thought was really cool, an art museum. I
Oh
just
yeah.
from an art museum. Actually, I was going to apply there too because they had DJs. It was 10 levels at the ROM here in Toronto, and it was pretty
Hmm.
much the same concept, same setup as I saw that you had in the art
Hmm.
museum. So how do you like that too? Because it's different. It attracts a different crowd too. Like pretty much everyone at an art museum.
Yeah. It was they do a art after dark series or final Friday art event, and I was asked, they reached out and asked if I would do their Halloween party. I was
Hmm.
like, absolutely. I've never DJed in an art museum. That's pretty cool. But it's so many things to that, so many decibels you can only play because you don't want to vibrate the walls and the art and break stuff. It was cool. So they had tarot reading there. They had, obviously, the events were open, the exhibits, I should say.
Hmm.
They had food. They had Halloweenish type stuff. It was cool. It was called Into the Wild, I believe.
Did they
So
want you playing specific music? Like, because I noticed the museums out here, it was pretty much all house music. It wasn't really like a collective of different music. Like, I didn't even hear
no, they
disco, funk, hip hop, nothing, which I was kind of surprised. So,
no, they gave me free reign. They
oh,
said,
that's good.
your reputation precedes you. Know what to play is family friendly, so not
Mhm.
not any cuss words or anything. Or and I played a well range of things. I played a lot of stuff. So
So I guess on your days off, you pretty much do you pretty much just do events and radio? Like, basically, do you ever have a day off or no, not really? Because you're always working on something.
always working on something, but always make some time to just cool out for a little. Like this past weekend, I didn't have any events. And when it
Mhm,
was pretty cool. It was freaking awesome. Well, no, I take that back. I had something last Friday. Um, but December usually for me slows down, other than corporate holiday parties and now this concert run. But I think that I like not really doing a lot in December and January, so we can kind of reset and get ready for the next year. Um, But then I'll sit down and say, I don't feel like I'm doing enough, and then boom, I'm busy again. But I do. I get time to just cool out here and there.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, well that's
Mhm.
good. And I like how you wrote that you're a hair weave killer. I don't know if you get any feedback from the ladies on that one. If they
I
like
did
you
not come up
way
with
to
that.
kill you. I'm like, somebody's gonna get in trouble here saying that.
It's, no, I
I like
didn't.
it. It's kind of funny, the hair weave
That.
killer. Can you
Um.
explain that to people what you mean by that for those that
So
don't know?
um, at the essence of everything, I'm a party DJ, and so my status was known here in the city as the weave killer. Um, in the clubs and the events and stuff like that, people would post the next day like, "You owe me money because you messed up my weave." So hashtag weave killer. So that's where that came from.
Mhm.
Um, and like SJ knows, well, you know her as Ball Save Tatted Girl. I know her as SJ. So they all made that. I didn't, and I just kind of used it as a stick, like
It is
marketing.
funny, it's kinda different, but I ever wonder if you have any ladies after you for saying that, I'm not sure. So, it is funny though,
Uh-huh.
killing
Um,
have you ever seen any hair drop down to the ground playing?
yes,
Oh, you have?
yes. I've
It's
seen a
happened to me
person
one time in
that
San
got so hot, it was so packed, and then everybody's having a good time. She was hot, and she just took it off
Oh,
and threw it
really?
down. Yeah,
That's hilarious. She just took it
yeah,
off. How you
yeah.
doing? Roses are red. Good to see you.
Hey,
Miss Fee says you will sweat. You know, um,
see, Miss Fee, she's from Tiny Island too, and she's been to parties. Um,
she says
so at
wear a
least
hat.
I'm.
I agree. I'm all about the hats too. Yeah. Let's see. Hey, DJ Udi Sound. Good to see you as well. So
Hey,
I'm just looking to see if there's any questions. Big Stove's going to get in trouble. He says tumbleweave. He's going to get in
yeah,
trouble. Junior
tumbleweaves.
knows better not to say anything at all. Let's see. He says, "Take us to Emerald City." I
I
don't
wish
think
I could, but I'm not streaming from. I'm not on from my regular Twitch setup. I am far
well,
away from that.
yeah. So again, if you guys have any last questions, drop them in the chat. And then, is there any? Oh, actually, oh, so salty. Let's see. Says, if you sweat out your hair, that's my kind of party.
Yes,
True.
absolutely,
I
absolutely.
agree. Exactly. It's kind of like taking off your heels at the end of the night, ladies. It's like, sometimes you just want to be free. Take off the hair,
Hmm.
take off the heels, take off just whatever. you know,
Yeah, good
women,
time.
we do a lot as women for sure. Trying to look cute. And then at the end of the night, we're like, forget it, like flat shoes,
Mm-hmm.
everything else. So do you have like okay, if you could think of like top three hip hop artists that you love and top three R&B, what would they be for you?
I don't know. It's so many out there
I
to
know there
have it at
is.
three. Um, who? R&B, of course, Prince. Um, um, uh, well, from what generation? How about that?
Okay, you know what? Since I'm such a 90s girl, we'll stick with 90s. I'm curious because I love
Okay.
love the 90s. Anything 90s and older I love, but I'm
Hmm.
curious to hear your selection with the 90s.
90s R&B, TLC, SWV, and New Edition.
Hmm.
Um, um, Hip hop is Tribe Called Quest, um, Mobb Deep, and Wu Tang because they for
Ooh,
the children.
yeah, those are
Uh,
really good artists.
but there's and Boys and Men because of Jen. Um, there is like it's hard to when you're a DJ and you got so much music in your head, it's hard to pinpoint like three.
It
Like
is. It is really
yeah,
hard, for sure. Yeah,
Mhm.
no, I agree. Hey, Second Avenue crew, good to see you. Um, let's see. Roses are red says cream. Yeah, and I think
Mhm.
they mentioned Boys to Men for you. Just Jen says Boys to Men. You look like you could kind of fit in their group when you wear your fedora, I noticed, and when you're all dressed like, okay, he looks like he could be like, what is it, the 5th member or something of one of those
I'll
boy
be the soundstage manager. That's it. I can't. Yeah.
exactly. Oh, man. Well, thank you so much for, coming through and trying something new with me, which was Instagram as well. And
No problem.
for this
No
interview,
problem.
a lot of fun too. I hope you guys learned something new with DJ Vadermixx. So make sure everyone in the room adds him, DJ Vadermixx, for the one person that doesn't know. And if you could throw up his link again, that would be great because my stream elements is not kicking in, I don't think. Um, as I'm trying to scroll up and find it. But if you guys could put his link in the chat room, Junior or someone else, that would be great as well. Now, I usually leave it up. Hey, cigars and bourbon, how you doing? All the way
Hey.
from Puerto Rico. So, okay, now it finally pops up on me. So make sure you guys add again. Here's his link here. It is actually scrolling through the chat too. There we go. So twitch.tv/, oh, I forgot the DJ Vadermixx. So make sure you guys are adding him. Oh, here, let me post this. And this is his website too. So make sure you guys check it out. Now, is there anything that people should be looking out for you, like any future events coming up?
Um, I'm working on some in real life in a tiny island. I'm working on a new event series. And I'll make that announcement in a couple weeks.
Okay.
Um, as far as Twitch, I'm gonna add another day and try to not necessarily switch things up, but revamp some other shows. So originally on Twitch, I think we were on like 5 nights or 5 days.
That's a
Um,
lot. Wow.
that's a lot. That's a lot. And I think that's when we were trying to make a push for a partner. But I don't know
Mhm.
if you know this or not. Like we got turned down like seven, maybe even 8 times for partner.
Really?
Uh-huh.
Wow. Actually, that's good to know. If I don't know, do you have a few more minutes or another minute?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay. One thing I will mention, and I think this would be helpful because a lot of people do get discouraged, and I have interviewed a lot of people on my show that they've been, they've tried 5 or 6 times, and
hmm
people are trying to figure out this magic formula because another DJ I interviewed, he had like 130 people in his room, like all the time. So he couldn't
hmm
figure out what was happening. He
hmm
gave some good advice during the show. I think it was last year. What would
hmm
you say to people that are really, really pushing? Because it can be discouraging. It is quite a leap from, going from when you first start Twitch and then trying to make it to partner. I wish it would be a little
hmm
bit easier, like maybe more of a middle ground. But it feels like, and everyone's strategizing and doing the follow for follow. Like, what do you think about all those things? And how would you encourage someone if you said you got rejected 7 times, which is surprising?
Yeah, seven, maybe even eight. I'm not for sure. So
Mhm.
back, 2 years ago, or even a year and a half ago, um, I think that Twitch was different. I think DJs came on board and they didn't really know what to do with us. So when people are making, uh, these partner statuses like, the selectors and the LVs and Vince Adams, some people were making partners and didn't have to meet all the qualifications. Some was just making them because of who they were. Um, and so you work hard, you hit all the markers that they ask you to hit, and they turn you down. They say, well, we want to see more out of you. All right, I give you more, and then you turn me down again. So it was almost like it was a bet to see what was going to be the excuse. Um, um, there's some things that Jen just put out, cut out the cursing music, cut out the music that the labels will mute, cut out your least watched days. So that's one thing that we did. We cut out the least watched day. At that time it was It was I think it was a Wednesday. So we cut out Wednesday, and then eventually cut out Tuesday. Um, the, and when you apply for partner, understand that they're watching you now.
Mhm.
Um, they're watching if this is the person that we want to represent us in that light. If you're cussing on screen, um, and just because you hit the 75 viewers, wait, wait before you apply because very rarely do they give it to people who have an average of 75 viewers. Um, they turned me down. I had an average of 77. They turned me down. I had an average of 130. They turned me down. I had an average of 150. They turned me down. Like it was just weird. And actually, I think because we were um, appealing it so much that Twitch actually one day they were in the stream. It was like the Twitch staff was all in the stream and they had a good time and partying. And the next day, I didn't even know I had the check mark. It wasn't until I had streamed that, like a couple days later, that somebody said, "Hey, you got partner." And I was like, "Holy shit!" But no, you really have to be consistent, you
Mhm.
know. And I think at that time, there was this big thing with the bots and the people, and they were really watching people apply and what they were doing and how they were moving. I think after that became the whole like the hate bots soon after, and I think they kind of eased up on some of the strict guidelines. But make sure if you are making a push for a partner that you have a really strong mind. And there's no exact, like Kev G said, there's no exact formula, but I
I agree.
definitely,
I agree with you, Kev G, because I've
yeah,
interviewed so many guys and ladies like the last 2 years, and everyone has different opinions on it, but there is
hmm,
definitely no magic formula. And going back to
yeah,
just Jen, I thought she made a good comment, like you said, no cursing and that sort of thing. I mean, we come from a radio background, so we understand
yeah,
things more filtered and more monitored, and I always believe that when you keep a show a little bit more professional, like, you know,
hmm,
I think more of an audience. And people may not see it that way. I know I've had a lot of people disagree with me or be like,
hmm,
"Oh, that's too prudent." But I'm telling you, like, you never know who's watching you and where that door is going to open up, right? And
right,
I think it is good to be professional because you don't know if a corporation is looking at you, a nonprofit. You don't know if a wedding, like whoever's looking, radio too, they're very particular in having things
hmm,
edited and kind of guidelines, like a little bit more by the book. So doing whatever you want to do, you can do that, but sometimes
hmm,
it also closes doors doing that. But for just Jen's comment, I'm not sure because I've seen lots of streamers that have made partner and have like 100,000 people in their room. And I've seen all that. They may not be playing music, but yeah, they're cursing
hmm,
and they're doing whatever, and they make partners. So it doesn't really make sense. I don't know if there's a different filter for DJs or maybe
hmm,
copyright stuff. They just um, didn't really want to. And plus, they're bringing on big people now. And I think that's why hosting and that sort of stuff maybe possibly could have gone eliminated. Because when you got
hmm,
Versus, Amazon Music, you got all these big, big um, companies that are now it's kind of like when a corporation takes over a block, it's going to kick out
hmm.
kind of like the little small businesses, right? So I don't, it's just a theory I have. I don't know because I don't work for Twitch, but I kind of wondered, is it because they want to focus on those big, like Complex is a big show and like those big
Mhm.
music things, then all these DJs making partner? I don't know. What are your thoughts on
I
that?
don't know.
You don't know.
I
Yeah.
I don't know. Like I said, there's no rhyme or reason to it. Some people have made partner um uh based on just like I said, name alone. So it's
Mhm.
if I sit up and say that it's a very fair system, it's not. Um and I think that it just depends on what can you bring to the plate for them. You know, I don't
That's
know.
so
I
true.
don't
It
know.
is hard. What do you guys think? If you guys got any comments, drop them with the partner thing too. I think it's interesting. I do think it has become harder. Another person I interviewed said that there was about 50,000 partners out of I don't know how many streamers there are. I thought it was 8 million. It's quite a
Oh
lot.
wow.
So they said there is actually only, and I don't know how true that fact is. I've had
Mhm.
to Google it, but they said that
Mhm.
there's only 50,000 partners out of the millions and millions of streamers out there, you know?
Wow.
Um,
Wow.
yeah, so that was kind of an interesting. I don't know if it's truth or not, but it was interesting they brought it up. Hey,
Mhm.
DJ, Mr. Drew UK, I see you. Thank you again, guys. I'm just looking at another laptop. I see Junior gave 100 bits. Jangus 3,000. Thank
Mhm.
you for wow, 16 months strong with me. The time has flown by. Thank you for the resubscription and Big Stove. It looks like it says here we're close to a hype train. So thank you guys so much. I
Mhm.
appreciate that.
Well,
Um,
one thing I will say, and we talked about this. So at the beginning, um, you couldn't make partner based off of raid trains. They encouraged you to raid other channels, but that was one of the things that they kind of was against getting your numbers through raid trains. And then they did a 180 and was like, "Oh, it's cool." Um, because at one point we had to cut off getting raids
mhm.
um, as we were pursuing, and then all of a sudden it worked. So it kind of flip flops back and forth. So.
Yeah, it's so interesting. Like it's like I wish they would make it no more known. You know, maybe it's who's watching you and who's approving it too, right? Because
Mhm.
Kev G says he didn't stop cursing and like on his
Mhm.
streams and he put
Mhm.
mature audience and obviously he made partner, right? Let's
Mhm.
see here. Yeah, I don't know. It's just so interesting. Yeah, Disco Darren, I know he's pushing for partner, so he says, I'll find out shortly how fair this system is. you
Mhm.
know? Um, let's see here. And I'm just trying to read some of your comments here, you guys. Let's see. Just Jen says it actually becomes easier to make partner. They now count the numbers that come in from raids as part of the viewer. Before they wanted unique viewers.
Mhm.
Yeah, because I know some people would raid in, like raid away, like rate when someone started a show to help them as well.
Mhm. Right.
Uh, Disco Darren says there's 10 million streamers on this Twitch platform. Wow, it's 10 million, Disco Darren? I didn't realize that. Um, let's see here. Dr. Dady Priest says either you are or you're not. Seems like there would be a better pathway that included steps or stages between affiliate and partnership. I totally
Yeah.
agree um,
Uh-huh.
with you 100%. It seems like a leap from affiliate to partner. Like people are trying so hard. I kind of wondered too, maybe did they catch on to a lot of DJs were strategizing with each other? So maybe
Uh,
because I think in the end, they don't lose money. Well, I'm trying to think if Twitch, I think if you reach 10,000, yes, Twitch starts losing money, right? I don't know if it would be a benefit if all these little guys would be
mhm.
making partner. Like, I'm not sure, like, if it's much of a benefit for them. I don't know,
Mhm.
you know?
I'm
Um,
not for sure.
yeah, I don't think anyone knows, just speculation. But
Yeah.
there's any Twitch staffer that's watching my show today too. We love you. You know, we do love Twitch. So, um,
You know
let's.
how to tell when there's a staffer that's in your stream, right?
No, I don't know. Does it say? I think it doesn't. It just say Twitch staffer.
No, not necessarily. If
Hmm.
you look at there will be a wrench next to their name.
Really?
If you're looking in mob view.
Oh, I didn't know that. Hopefully, I get a wrench beside my name someday. It may not be a check mark, but maybe I'll get a wrench beside my name. Who knows?
No, the staffers that work for Twitch, if they're
Yeah,
coming through your stream,
yeah,
yeah,
that's what I mean.
yeah, yeah,
Want a wrench
yeah.
beside my name. So I've told Twitch several times they should just hire me, you know. Now I'm not so sure, but I have Googled actually Twitch jobs out of curiosity,
There you go.
they pay quite high, Twitch jobs. They pay almost as high as firefighter jobs. There you go.
There it is. There it is. Without the danger.
Exactly. Let's see. Just Jen says they didn't expect the DJs that were scrambling to figure out how to deal with the new platform use. Hmm. Yeah, maybe I'll do a show on how to do that or what people's ideas are that are partners as well
Mhm.
to kind of help.
Mhm.
What would you also suggest to people that just want to start streaming? Like, what would be some encouragement for them when they look at someone like you or look at someone that's so far ahead? Like, what could you say to them to kind of encourage them?
Have patience. Give yourself grace, have patience, and it's just like if you are a DJ, it's just like when you go into a club, you talk to people, you network, you may shake the DJ's hand or give him or her dap, and give them encouragement and move on. But I have to be you got to be honest with yourself and know that it's going to take some time. I've seen some really dope DJs get on here and stream a couple times, and it wasn't like 8 million people in there. So then they left the platform. It's like, it's not for me. But you didn't want to put in the work. It's going to take work. Even like KFG puts in work. I put in
Yeah,
work.
they're like
So the
daily.
work doesn't stop. It doesn't because they can take away your check. It can take away your check mark. They can take away your partner status. Um, so it doesn't stop because you make a certain point. Now you have to maintain that. You have to build on that. So it's always constant work.
Do you ever wonder why, like, people that do sleeping streams have, like, 100,000 people watching them, and then DJs are grinding, I'm telling you, like, you're buying a lot of equipment, lighting, like,
Hmm.
audio, visual, like, there's so much anyone that's a streamer knows this, but I would say
Hmm.
DJs definitely, I think, are the most expensive streamers. Don't shoot me if I'm wrong, but I believe that are the most they invest a lot of expenses into doing what
Hmm.
they do, and it's their choice, but I'm
Hmm.
just wondering when someone rolls out of bed and just does a sleeping stream or, like, you're watching Turtles and they have, like, 100,000 people, I don't know what the magic formula is. I don't know. Do you ever wonder that? Like, how does it maybe I should do a sleeping stream, you know?
It is It's appealing. It's what appeals to that person.
Yeah,
We done went down a rabbit hole and seen um, people inside blow up pools jumping up and down, and it's like 8 million people in there. We've
yeah,
seen the stream of the kittens. Like it's just a kitten stream, and it's like 3,000 people there, and we're like, we playing this good music, but I mean, DJs are new to the platform.
true.
I think
Yeah,
Amani Experience said that. I think Nova or Kova said it on Tweak Music Tips that we only make up like a small percentage. Um, but it's whatever appeals to you. Like there's all types any stream that you can think of is probably here. And boy, if you go down that rabbit hole, be prepared.
that's
Um
true.
there's something for everyone, you
Would you
know.
ever do a sleeping stream? That would be so funny if you did, like, a sleeping stream at your fire hall. That would be so hilarious. I would watch
No,
it, you know?
it would be scary to some people. So it is very much a um love for firefighters until you actually see what we do and we see.
Hmm,
Um and to be sleep and hear the tone, which is not a soft tone. It's
yeah,
got to
that's
wake you up
yeah,
to get up and running at top speed, depending on where you are in the firehouse, and get into that truck in 30 seconds, or getting dressed, put on your bunker gear. Now you in focus mode. I don't think that would be watchable.
yeah, that's
Unless it's it's comedy because sometimes you running so fast you fall, trying to get to the truck, but trying to beat everybody else.
Does
It
everyone
is.
sleep no, not everyone sleeps at the same time. I guess you guys would have different times where, if it's
Um,
24 hours on, you gotta like, you guys probably
so there is a person that we call the night watch person.
Mhm.
That is a person that stays on the lowest level, lowest street level. That it's just kind of because sometimes at night people bang on the door, you know, is a person shot, like
Oh,
banging on the
wow.
door, help me,
Oh my
or like somebody's having a heart attack in the car, or somebody's delivering a baby. They can't make it to the hospital, so they banging on the door. Hey, can you? And we delivering babies right in front of the firehouse, stuff like that. Like all this stuff has happened. So you have to have somebody there that just in case the alarm system goes down, that they can manually let everybody know, hey, we got to run. You know, everything is way more technically advanced than it was when I first came on the fire department,
Mhm.
um, and ringing bells and stuff like that. But um, it depends. It depends on who you are, your sleep pattern, um, how many people are in your firehouses. They can be as little as 4 people or as many as 12
Wow.
in our firehouses. So,
Oh, only 4 people? Wow.
mhm.
To even
And if
manage?
it's a single engine house, only has 4 people.
Wow,
So,
that's crazy.
mhm,
Well, I
mhm.
applaud you for the job you do and, and how you balance everything out and how you're such a family guy as well. I think that's really awesome. And I think it like and I know and I'm not just saying that. Like I think it's really rare. So I really respect that. Like even when I watch your show, I don't feel like it's just a music show. I feel like how you are in front of the camera is how you are authentically off camera, so that's why I was really excited to have you on as well.
I
Yeah,
appreciate
I
that.
just think
Thank
you're
you.
awesome. And although we haven't met face to face yet, I don't know, I get that. I definitely get that vibe from you for sure. Yeah.
I appreciate that. Thank you. That's pretty
Yeah.
much how I am. Yeah, yeah. I can be an Aries and an asshole, but
Yeah,
for the most
I
part,
haven't
this is
seen
what you
that
get.
side, so I don't know what you're talking about
It
when you say
it's
that because I have not seen that
it's a
side on
it's it's
your
a
shows.
it's a it's a running joke. It was born at the Ohio meetup, and people were talking about um how how nice you are and blah 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 blah. I'm like, yeah, but I'm still an Aries, and sometimes I'm an asshole. It's like I mean that's just life. Everybody sometimes is an asshole,
Mhm.
but yeah, what you see is what you get. So
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, keep doing it. Make sure you guys are adding him again, DJ Vadermixx. Look him up, add him everywhere. He's everywhere if you just Google him, and look out for his next events and definitely support him on Twitch. It takes a lot to grow a show and to keep it moving and keep getting that support. It really truly does. So
mhm,
definitely do that and support him if that's something you love. If you love watching him, then definitely support him.
I
um,
appreciate
all
that.
right. So I think we are I'm gonna leave it up to you wherever you
Hmm.
want to rate out to. I don't know if you could you see actually who's on?
No, actually, hold
Oh,
on.
you
Let me
can't
see.
see.
Uh, I don't know. Let's see.
Let's see. I could read out some names here too. You partner with Vince Adams, right? He's on right now. Uh,
What is? Yeah.
Scam
Um,
Artist, Full Blast, Nick Styles. I'm just trying to go through the list here. The different DJ Lil Fever. There's lots of different people on DJ Chaotic. Um, let's see here. We got Relly Rel, Gemini.
really real.
Everyone's on tonight. Relly
I
Rel?
see. Yeah.
Okay, awesome. Okay, yeah, let's go to Relly Rel. I don't know if I've rated him in a while. I think it's been definitely a minute, so we could definitely do that. So if you want
Okay.
to, do you want to actually? Uh,
Whatever, Miss Tiff Star.
Yeah, you can. Hey, Miss Tiff Star, good to see you. Oh, we got Liddell the DJ as
Oh
well.
wow.
Thanks for coming through, Liddell. Let's see here. What did she say? She says, "Wow, who's the Vader mix? Let me follow him."
Get out of here.
Oh man, she got jokes. So
Mm-hmm.
let's see. Hey, we got Wanda in the building as well. Thanks for coming through. If I missed anyone, I apologize. DJ uh, Knowledge. And again, in the future, guys, we're gonna start going. I'm gonna start doing like a little bit of time on Instagram before my talk shows,
Absolutely.
maybe 10, 15 minutes on Instagram, and then I'm going to move to Twitch. So that's
Hmm.
going to be kind of the new format. So thanks for trying it out with me. And
No problem.
if you want to give some people some shout outs, I'm going to set up this raid actually, try to set it up right now too.
Just want to shout out all my peoples, my friends, my family that's in here. Shout out to the definitely to the tiny island of Cincinnati, which is right there. Um, Shout out to you, DJ Honeyflow, for having us. I appreciate that. I'm honored to be here. Definitely shout out to my super duper mod, my only mod, Just Jen, for always holding everything down, and just everybody, stay encouraged. I know the holidays can be a sad time of year for those that have lost loved ones, but I think we all sometimes use Twitch as a platform for virtual hugs and things like that. And anytime you need anything, you can hit me up. Um, and just know that you are loved and you're appreciated. So thank you all.
Yeah, thank you guys so much. And thanks for that statement. It's so true. Sometimes we go to different platforms to kind
Hmm.
of fill that void or whatever it may be. But it is really
Hmm.
important to look out for each other, guys, and be kind because you really don't know what people are going through and how much loss they've gone through and how hard the holidays can be for people that
Hmm.
aren't in the same city as their family or different things. So definitely always be kind, even if you may not vibe the person or what have you. As we were talking earlier, just like always be kind because you never know what someone's going through.
Hmm.
Um,
Absolutely.
so, all right, I want to thank you so much again. I'm going to see, I think the rate is kind of going through. Let's see if it's going through. And if you guys miss it, then make sure you just go to DJ Relly Rel. Um, do you find that you have to rate out a few times?
Man, I am the raid king. Sometimes I think I rated Ageless like 24 times or 20.
Oh,
Yeah,
really?
24 times. That's the
Oh
record.
gosh,
Yeah.
I try to do it from my phone too. I
Hmm.
gotta try to spell his name right. Relly Rel, like with two L's and right?
Yes.
Two
Two
L's.
L's, two times. Yes.
Yeah. Um, okay, so I'm just checking here. Okay, yeah, I'm probably gonna just rate a few times. So if you guys miss the rate, because sometimes it's not going through for some reason. And do you also
It's
let the
looks
rate
like
go?
it's going through.
Yeah. Oh, okay, perfect. Okay, here it
I think
is. Okay,
okay.
I think it went through. I'm gonna
I
try
think so.
doing it like one more time or maybe two more times and see if this works. Yeah, but thank you so much. I really appreciate it and just staying on longer with me and
No problem.
Instagram with me. That is definitely new. Um, and I
Well,
can't
good.
wait
I'm glad it
to,
worked out.
yeah, hopefully I can't wait to head down to Ohio and hopefully meet you guys at some point, maybe in the summer or the spring. If you do a Monica
That's
concert,
fine.
I'll be there a lot earlier.
Bet.
All right. Okay, we'll have okay,
Okay.
I'm gonna try rating out. Okay, I think I did this is my third time. Okay, I think that's good. 3 should be a charm. All
Three
right,
should be
have
a
a
charm.
great night and thank you so
You
much.
too.
We'll
All
definitely
right.
see each other soon. All right?
All right. Take
Okay,
care. Thank you.
bye.
Bye.